Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to our watch party for the NFL draft. We're happy to have you. Do some tweaking to the camera. Um, this is the first time new to the channel, and we're still kind of finalizing some things and getting some things worked out. Here's my fluffy dog. He is a huge fan of the show. First time caller, a long time listener. But hello, doggy. So, welcome very much to our watch party. Ryan is clearly not here yet. He is on the way. He will be here very shortly. He was rooting for his little boy in baseball, and now that game went, we'll find out how that went when he gets here. We'll see how they did. But here we are. I don't know how legal things work, so I have the coverage on mute. And we're just going to kind of watch the show, and when the picks come live, I have enough confidence to that I can put that on and at least see how that goes. So the agenda: we're going to watch all the picks. We're going to try to predict all the pick while the team's on the clock. We put our mock drafts on our personal socials. We're probably going to start generating more socials for this channel specifically once we get all our branding together. This kind of came together last minute, but we're gonna we got our mock drafts out there. We kind of know we kind of know what we think, but we don't have any real solid ideas just yet. But in addition to picking each pick, there he is. Come on in, guy. There's pizza. I actually chill. We're good. We're good. Come on, buddy. He's fierce. He's a fierce dog.
It's okay.
He's a fierce monster dog. He's a fierce monster dog. You're okay. Hush. 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 He'll be fine here in a minute when Ryan comes and sits down. We've done this for years now, but this dog will freak out. Behave. You want to go see? No. You hold me back. You better hold me back.
It's all right, Pop. I'm here.
Come on in, get in the frame. He goes, well,
What's up, everyone?
Now, no, I don't want to be near you. I'm angry. All right. So, in addition to trying to predict each pick and guess what's going on, we will be selecting the second year of our shadow draft team, where we're trying to make sure that I want to give him enough room to be in the camera. Yeah. So we started this last year. Ryan's a genius. He always has good ideas. And last year we did our first round of selections. So we each came out of the round. We came out of last year feeling pretty good. I got Kamari Lassiter. I got JPJ, the now center for the Raiders. Joe Alt. So I came out of there, and then I got a couple guys. Ryan, you want to talk about who's on your team right now of note?
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell's my star corner for the Eagles. Byron Murphy had up and down season, but he's doing pretty well. I've got a handful of offensive linemen that started to get a little bit of love towards the end of last year. So hoping to see them get a little bit more time this year. Same with a lot of my guys like safeties, but I do linebacker Peyton Wilson's pretty good. So I've got a lot of guys that are trending towards the right thing, but that's the thing with a shadow draft. You're probably waiting potentially 2-3 years to find out who these guys really are, especially the later guys. So,
all right. So we will be selecting. Ryan has every pick number 2, and I have every pick number 4. In addition to that, Ryan will have every Bengal pick, whatever they do, he'll have that. And if there's a trade up scenario, we're never going to have fewer than 2 picks per round. I will have all my 49er picks. So we'll come out and see what we can do. But for teams drafting, for people watching, what are your general feelings on this class of prospects?
I love day 2. Not so much sold on day 1. There's some guys on day 1, obviously, that are going to be really good that we really like, but the meat of this draft is not is not in the front end. There's like 10 guys, but once you get past like pick 12, 13, player 12, 13, and player 50 are like the same level of player. So that's where you're going to see a lot of teams potentially look at trading.
Cadeau's riding the bike on the stage.
Goodell on a bike. It's interesting. Like there's rumors right now that the Browns are looking likely to trade pick 2.
That would be such a Browns thing
which
to do.
Which would be wild. Potentially giving up a unicorn.
Not only do we not want a starting quarterback, but we don't even want the best player in the draft. We're just that bad.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Like you never know what's going to happen with this. This is an interesting. Like, is this a Green Bay thing? What's with the bikes?
I don't know. Like if you're watching this and you
is that Lil Wayne?
I think that's Lil Wayne. I'm not.
What's up, Lil Wayne?
All right, guys. If you're not watching on NFL, Lil Wayne just rode onto the stage in the draft on a bike, and they're like a bicycle gang.
I did see a little bit about coverage of Green Bay. You know, Green Bay is a smaller city, so it's not nearly the infrastructure that a lot of these big cities that do these are. And Green Bay people are like American go-getter type people, and the local small city that is like the small towns are right around there making insane money by selling their driveway for parking spots. It was pretty wild to see. Some of the spots that were closer were selling for like somewhere around $160 for parking. That was a couple blocks. So that's just a little thing that I like, one of those little niche little stories that I just love to see.
So looks like they're about to really kick off in earnest, which is awesome. I'm gonna take a quick check there. Got it. I'm bringing up my big board on my computer. That's why I'm doing weird things. So I agree completely with Ryan's assessment. The way I'd word it is a whole lot of good, but no great. Look, you get Travis Hunter. I'm very high on Shedeur Sanders. But once you get past Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and one little thing of note, where Ryan and I kind of schism. There's a guy Ryan and I love best, but I will be completely honest with you. I do not have Abdul Carter as my number one pass rusher, and my number one pass rusher isn't a guy named Jahad Campbell. The apple of my eye, my number 4 prospect. My number 1 edge rusher is actually Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss. A lot of people have him as a day 3 pick. Ryan might be willing to take him if Ezraku's not available down at the bottom.
Yep.
But a lot of what we do, we look at people, and sometimes we look at boards and we don't understand what people are seeing. We don't. And again, like Abdul Carter is right next to him. Abdul Carter is my number 5 prospect, but I just don't. I see more out of Uman than I do Carter. And it's not really that I don't think Carter's good, but that's kind of where I'm at. So
yeah, the interesting thing too about the shadow team thing that we do, most of the people that I know that are doing shadow teams, it's just themselves, right? So Matt and I could have done the thing like everybody else is doing and just say, it doesn't matter who Matt picks, he can pick anyone, even if I already picked them. But we are choosing to make it a little more challenging ourselves and to see if the guys that we both like, because our boards are similar. They're not the same, but they're similar. We have a lot of similar viewpoints and values of the players that we like. So if I pick a player at pick 2, he can't pick that player at 4. It's same if he picks a player at 11 and it comes to 17 and I really want that player and he's still there. Tough. Can't do it. So that's just a little wrinkle because we have some favorites that we both really like. That's going to make things interesting. So we're not only playing against the NFL, but we're playing against each other too.
Speaking of favorites, there's one guy I want to give you a chance to holler out before. Oh, the Titans are on the clock. So let's talk about one of your favorites because I don't know why, but we're going to sit here for 9 minutes when everyone knows what's going on. So I think you know who I'm trying to set you up for, about a guy we're in love with that's a lot lower on some draft boards. And why don't you take a minute to shout that person out?
Yes, I believe he is talking about Harold Fannin Jr., who is my number one tight end
Same.
in this draft. Everyone is giving him a hard time because he didn't have the flashiest numbers in terms of his athleticism, and because he maybe looks a little awkward when he runs, and isn't as big bodied as some of the other tight ends. But the fact of the matter is he is right within range when it comes to athleticism, so I'm not really worried about it. He's a 20-year-old kid. He's 20 years old, and he's been playing this position for 3 years. When he went to Bowling Green State University, which is my alma mater, he played linebacker and safety in high school. So he's learning this position still, and he's becoming more of an athlete as he gets older. 20-year-olds are not always the most fluid, and they haven't fully even developed yet. He could get taller. He could get thicker. He's got room to grow. And the thing that we love the most is his production. It's wild. Nobody has had a season. He literally broke like every tight end record this year. So if you look in terms of production over the past like 5 years, the top 3 guys are Harold Fannin Jr., Kyle Pitts, and Brock Bowers. And that's with Harold Fannin Jr. being at the top of that list. So it's a guy that one of us will get without question in our shadow draft, because we're going to draft him higher than the league. And I'm really, really personally hoping he lands with the Niners, because I think there is not a better situation for him than on the 49ers, because Kyle Shanahan would know how to use him the right way.
The Niners drafting him would make up for you cutting him. So we were talking about this draft, and Ryan was like, well, where are you going to take him? And I'm like, well, I'm going to take him here. And then Ryan's like, well, maybe I'll take him there. Like, I was like, oh, I'll get him at 75. Ryan's like, I'll take him at 60. And I'll be like, what are you doing? Oh my God. Hey, what's going on? Draft of the Future. Welcome in, AOWF. How you doing? So the Titans are on the clock. And so look, why are we sitting here? Like, what's going to happen in 7 minutes that hasn't happened in 4 months?
Well, the NFL has bills to pay.
Yeah.
So, they're going to get some ads in and all that stuff. And they also have like general time frames that they like to stick to. So it's going to take a little bit. But yeah, we know who it's going to be.
Yep, it's going to be Cam Ward. I have Cam Ward as my number 3 prospect. Yes, my number 3 prospect, my number 2 quarterback. And I don't know. I think why don't I give you a chance to talk about what Cam Ward does? Why do you think the Titans are taking Cam Ward?
They're taking him because of what he can be. He has been an inconsistent player, in my opinion. I'm much, much lower on Cam Ward. I don't have a single quarterback in my top 20 in this draft. But the reason they're going to take him is because he does have a cannon. He can throw it far. Does he know where it's going to go? That's another question. But he can throw it far. He's got some speed. He's got some agility, and he's a pretty big guy. And so because of that, when you're a team that has no direction, their coach, Brian Callahan, is in year 2. If you're not winning by year 3, you're probably not going to have a job. So this is the most logical thing for them to do, to potentially extend this coaching staff. So it makes sense. If you don't have a quarterback that you're confident in, you've got nothing.
So if I look at Cam Ward, the football player, I see who I think genuinely is the number 3 rated player on my board. He has, look, I don't think any of these quarterbacks, except for Milroe, I don't think any of these guys are really going to be able to use athleticism to cover their ability to read. They're going to have to learn how to read the field and make the throw. And so I don't think that. But he got enough mobility in the pocket And anytime I hear arm strength, I just see this picture of Jamarcus Russell, and I'm like, yeah, how'd that work?
Yeah.
And I think teams continually fall for that, but I think he's more than that here. The pick is in. We'll see when the commissioner comes on up, but I really have beef with that bowl game. Look, sit out the bowl game or play in the bowl game, but we're talking about a guy who, based on the reports I've seen, and if I'm misguided, let me know. But the reports I saw was he played, he broke his record, he got the record he was out to get, and then he's like, I'm out, deuces. And that's not a number one overall pick to me. That's not a leader to me.
And some people are framing it as, well, he wanted the other guys to get some experience. And I'm like, well, if you want the other guys to get the experience, then you let them play the whole thing. To me, jumping in just so you can get the record and then be like, now you can have some experience.
I got mine.
Is the thing that I struggle with. But again, we're not him. We don't know his thought process. We weren't there. I compare, like, he is the things I don't like about him are the same things I didn't like about Caleb Williams last year.
Yep.
Caleb Williams is hopefully being set up for a better situation this year with all the stuff that Chicago added.
Here we go.
But let's see who's the pick.
You're right. He's no Cam Newton. Cam Newton was like a bigger body. He was more like a power forward. I still don't see the commissioner yet. He was like a real big power guy. But I just he's gonna have to translate more, which is why I have him lower than Shador. I already know Shador can drop back and make that throw on time.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward.
Cameron Ward.
Okay. There he is.
No surprise there now. We're moving in. You're right. I saw Ian Rappaport mentioning the Jaguars are making a big push to get number 2, to get Travis Hunter. Look, do you remember a while back when, Mike Ditka was the coach of the Saints and he traded everything on the planet, like literally his whole draft? You remember that?
Well, yes, I do, because the Bengals turned him down.
Yeah.
They actually tried to go to Cincinnati's pick, and Cincinnati was like, "No, we don't want your entire draft.
We don't need a fortune." I would really consider trading literally this whole draft for Travis Hunter.
From the reports that I've seen, it doesn't sound like Cleveland's going to get that much. It didn't sound like it would be, if they do make the trade, it didn't sound like they were going to get a first next year. So to go from 2 to 5, it sounded like they would get like a second and maybe something else a little down the line. And I was like,
yeah,
that is not enough to make me give up a freaking unicorn.
It would just like, look, the Browns as a franchise are just so poorly led.
And as a Bengals fan, I love it. But
it would be, look, if I'm on the clock right now, and for the record, you are.
I am on the clock right now, yeah.
If I'm on the clock right now, I take Travis Hunter. I'll forgive you, Abdul Carter. I will. I think that's you're taking Abdul here.
Yeah. So I'm taking Abdul Carter right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do you have a pen?
I have a dog on my lap, but there you go. So, but I take Travis Hunter's the only guy I take if I'm a quarterback needy team. There it is. It happened. The Browns are nuts.
It did.
The Browns are nuts.
They have agreed with the Browns to trade from number 5 to number
Okay, they did get a first next year. So
okay, they got two ones.
The Browns are getting their quarterback next year. The Browns are basically saying like, hey, we're into Sean prison. Let's move along and wait till next year.
Okay.
You up here?
Wow, actually, I don't know if
All right, so I've got Abdul Carter. I have to find Cam Ward.
That's this one. Is there some cool way? I think there's a way I'm supposed to be able to share my.
Maybe. Wow, silly Browns. So see, this is the thing, is no one will. The one thing credit that I will give them is somebody, I think they were talking about this on the PFF show.
It's not an NFL draft if the Browns
Yes.
don't take the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, they're gonna take Jalen Milroe at 5. But the one thing I was listening to PFF on the way here, and the thing that they said about Travis Hunter is, yes, he's crazy valuable because he can play 2 positions. But the thing that you don't think about is how long can he play 2 positions? It's not out of the question to think he can only do that
6
for
years?
a few years.
I would give him 6.
Yeah, and maybe he can, but it might be one of those things that he has to like lower the snaps as time goes, or stick to just one position. So, you and I are both of the opinion he should play corner full time, and then have a package of plays as wide receiver to get him to the 1,500 snaps that he played this year. So that in the NFL, like the biggest starters get about 1,000 snaps a year.
Mm-hmm.
He played 1,500 last year because some people are like, yo, he can't do it for 17 games. I'm like, well, he played 1,500 snaps last year.
Give him 500 snaps
So
on offense.
500 on offense, 1,000 at corner, and I think that's the best way to use him. I almost guarantee you,
bravo Jaguars,
that the Jags are going with him as their wide receiver. But we'll see, because it'll be announced.
Yeah,
as whatever position they plan on having him start.
I am so excited to see Travis Hunter play. I believe Travis Hunter will be a high caliber starting corner. And then I believe he surpasses all of Deion Sanders' career receiving yards or receiving data this year.
I know we're a ways away from the Bengals pick, but there's a player that Matt and I are not fans of.
Shamar Stewart.
His name is Shamar Stewart. And he posted on Instagram not too long ago, a tiger never changes his stripes. And that's given me a little bit of terrifying.
I don't know how I'm going to console you if that happens.
This would be, yeah. I don't know what I would do. I'm gonna need that to not happen.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on there. But Travis Hunter is the best corner in this class. He is the best receiver in this class. And if you're drafting him number 2 overall, it's because you plan on playing him both ways. It's the only reason you would draft someone in this position.
Yeah.
So what I just can't fathom, and I'm not watching it like a fan. If you're watching the other feed while you're listening to us rant, if you have some idea why the Browns would do this. Now, it would make sense to me. And again, like a lot of people right now are like, oh, it makes sense. They got 2 1s and go get a quarterback next year. If they take Shador at 5, I would actually be all right with that, because you got a haul and you still got the quarterback. You answered the quarterback question. And that would make it kind of sense. Although I don't think the fan base would react to that. I wonder how the media would react to that, because you got.
I just don't know what they're going to do at 5, because they're an absolute wild card now.
The last thing I heard was they were going to go O-line at 5.
Which,
so you're going to pass on Travis Hunter.
As a Bengals fan, I am glad they're not going to have Travis Hunter.
All right, let's see. Is that DeForest Buckner?
I believe so. That is a very large human.
I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and capacity, both on
I love Sanders.
the field and in the community.
I'm high on Sanders. That would make sense to me. That would make a lot of sense to me. But I don't know that a lot of people feel about Sanders the way I do.
Oh, that's Eric Armstead.
Eric Armstead, I'm sorry. DeForest Buckner probably retired. No, okay. The former 49ers guy. I get him all mixed up. All right.
I want to say thank
Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and nationwide. And also, too, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember, Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you.
I would not really want Sanders to go to Cleveland. I wouldn't want any quarterback to go to Cleveland.
I want Jalen Milroe to go to Cleveland.
Here we go.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter.
There it is.
Wide receiver.
That's smart. That's wild. The crazy thing, so like I'm just looking at the actual trade numbers with this too. And so the Browns, they get the 5th pick. They get the 36th pick, which is good value. They get the 126th pick, but they also gave up the 104th pick and the 200th pick. So really, they only got value-wise one extra pick this year, the pick 36, a second. So they basically got a second this year and a first next year, which again, the Browns expect them to be garbage this year and then expect them to be going hard for a quarterback next year.
Yeah.
They're going to have now 2. I wouldn't doubt if the Jaguars, the Jaguars could be good this year. Who knows? But let's say the Jaguars are like pick 15, 16. They maybe do better but don't make the playoffs. So the Browns are going to have pick 1 probably, and then pick 16, 17. And their fans are clamoring for, we've got Arch next year, because I have a lot of friends that are Browns fans. Like, we've got Arch next year now. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, he's not coming out next year. And if he found out the Browns had the
Mannings
pick,
like school.
and if he found out the Browns had the pick, they'd probably be like, you know what? Let's stay another one.
All right. I'm really, I don't want to be banned from YouTube, but I want to hear this guy interview. So, but I'll watch, I'll listen on stuff later. But so what makes Travis Hunter truly special is what they're showing on NFL Network right now. His ball skills. He's great at both, because if the ball is in the air, it is in his hands. And he's going to be amazing. So earlier I was saying I'd give up my whole draft.
Yeah.
But the Browns are still foolish for letting him go.
Yeah, one of my friends who is a diehard Browns fan said, "I'll never forget the day that the Browns pulled an all-time blunder and gave up one of the most insane players of all time for hopefully a guy next year." Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm just saying, man. Do I risk it? What do you know? Do you know YouTube?
It's probably fine.
Just got drafted as the first two-way player in a long time. What is happening in your heart right now?
I'm just super excited. I get to go back home, but I also
he's from Florida.
Somewhere I wanted to play, and I'm so excited that they picked me.
The Jacksonville Jaguars just traded up to get your services to their team. What conversations have you had with them with how you are going to be used in the NFL?
The crazy part is I had no conversation with them outside of the combine, so I didn't know what to expect, and I'm excited that they came and picked me. I wanted to cry, but I can't cry right now because I'm too excited.
We can feel that.
He looks so happy. He's like, I'm not going to Cleveland. He's so happy.
The Browns know how to draft defensive backs, offensive linemen, and defensive linemen. They are amazing at that. They have gotten some studs. You are right, AOWF. You are absolutely right. What's interesting is the one quarterback they got right was the guy they kicked off their team. It's like they were offended that they got it right.
Pick is in for the Giants. Again, I'm assuming the Giants are going to go for I'm assuming they're going to go for Abdul Carter here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But that's what I assume.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's going to be Abdul Carter. Shador's not off the table. And we're going to find out how that owner feels about Shador. If you believe what I believe about Shador, you take him. Now, for the record, if the Giants pass on Shador, I'm going to try to pull some nonsense.
Yeah.
Because if the Giants don't take him, I know for a fact he's going to make it to 11. So I'm going to take Ginty at 4 if the Giants don't take Shador, because I know the Saints aren't taking him. And I know the Raiders aren't taking him. Now, I will be open and honest. This could be a very foolish decision. All the insiders and all the data I have available says if this isn't Sanders.
So you also didn't have the Browns trading down then.
No, I even when I heard the reports, I'm like, no way. Not even the Browns would do. Well, I'll be. That's really kind of.
You're gonna be, if you end up going with Genty at 4, you're gonna be sweating up until pick 11.
All the way to 11. I'm like, please be right. And I will be if I get Genty and I do not get Shador, I made a mistake, and I'm going to admit it right up top. I'm going to admit it right up the top. I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just risking not getting Shador. If I get Genty and Shador, there's a chance you take Princely if Azaraku's off the board.
Yeah, which I'm expecting him to go about pick 20.
Here we go.
The New York Giants select Abdul Carter.
There it is.
Defensive end, Penn State.
And as a guy who just took him on my team, this makes me happy because he is going to a great situation in terms of defense. The Giants have never had an issue with defense. They actually normally have really successful, impressive edge players. So I think he's going to have a massive impact year one. It'll be interesting to see if they end up trading one of their young guys like Kayvon Thibodeau now. But yeah, he's an absolute animal, and I think he's going to be a huge player in this league. That's why I took him. I didn't have anybody on my roster that was doing much from an edge standpoint. So it's good to have.
So, I added Ashton here. I don't know if this is this is where I put him for now.
Oh yeah. So you're going with Ashton Genty?
Yeah, I'm taking Ashton.
Okay.
So he'll give the Giants stability.
Yeah.
I've been considering this. I talked to my brother about it. The more certain I got that Shador, and again, I think everyone passing on Shador is making a mistake. I am also making a mistake. But I'm making my mistake thinking that I can look like a genius at number 11. I'm not passing on Shador because I have him lower on my board. I'm like, they're really going to let him fall.
Where do you have Sanders on your board again?
Shador, he's the number.
No, TJ.
TJ Sanders. I have TJ Sanders. Where am I at? He's up high. He's my number 9 player.
So there is an absolute world where Matt, if this works out in his favor, gets 4 of his top 9 players in this shadow draft. I don't have that. I know myself. That's not gonna work for me. But I do think that I'll get at least 6 of my top 50 if things go the way I'm hoping. So
the Raiders and the Saints could ruin my night. They could ruin my night. I don't think they will. I think that Shador is a Steeler, or
Shador is going to pick 20.
You think he'll go 20? You think someone will jump ahead?
Someone's going to jump ahead of the Steelers for Shador.
I will.
He is going to pick 20, and I have a feeling it's going to be to this team that just selected Abdul Carter.
That would make a ton of sense. And that would also, I think Shador would do well in New York. I believe in the quarterback. I think the front office made some mistakes, and I think they've learned from their mistakes. And I think they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're like, we're going to get both guys that we want.
the Bengals tweeted a minute ago, time to work, and it showed the coach. I'm like, oh, well, I hope he's been working longer than just
Yeah, I hope.
I know what they're saying.
I hope he's been paying
but
attention
guys,
for the last 34 minutes. So I'm taking Ashton Genie. I think Ashton Genie is a Hall of Famer. I love Shador. I have him as my number one quarterback. I'm not gonna. I do not think Shador Sanders is a roll out of bed Hall of Fame guy the way I
yeah,
think Genie
we've
is.
talked my comparison for, and this is not a slight at him. My comparison for Shador Sanders is actually Andy Dalton. As a Bengals fan, I love Andy Dalton. Great guy. He can take your team a lot of places. In 2015, when he got hurt and missed the playoffs, I think they would have at least been in the AFC Championship had he not been hurt. If the team is built around him, he can be great, and that's kind of where I feel with Shador. And that's why, especially with the shadow draft stuff, it's so important to just get a guy, and especially in the first 4 years, because the first 4 years you get 2 picks per round. So if by year 4 you don't have a quarterback, you might be in trouble. Then pick is in for the Patriots. Who do you think the Patriots are going to go with?
So I think they go Will Campbell.
Okay,
I think they go Will Campbell. I would not like. I'm declaring Will Campbell. That's my stance.
I forget who I guessed here.
I forget who I did too.
Printed it off.
Hey Ben, can you go to my Facebook page and tell me who I thought the page? I'm already wrong because I really thought the Giants were going to take Shador.
Well, the pick is in, so I'm already wrong. I actually had the Niners trading up to get Mason Graham, which I think the Niners might end up getting Mason Graham at 11. Actually,
yeah, that would also make me deliriously happy. I have Mason Graham as my number. I have Mason Graham as my number 7 overall prospect. I absolutely love him. He's my number 1 defensive tackle. Ryan and I are just now kind of starting to look at physical traits and athleticism. We understand that those are factors. But what we want in this channel to make it unique is we believe in production over everything. If I'm going to be wrong, I want it to be wrong. I would rather be wrong about Mason Graham than I would be right about Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart has literally nothing. Like some people like, well, his pressures. You're on an offensive line with Nick Thornton, and you can't. I just don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mixing my letters. Like Shamar Stewart looks fantastic wearing gym shorts. Come here, buddy. I'll protect you from the evil human. All right. If you could go to my Facebook and see who I had the Patriots taking, I am right now in this actual evolution. I say they go the tackle out of LSU. I know how you feel about LSU guys. But I also have I'm high on GT. I would not be mad. Because I had, you're right. I'm already wrong in my mock draft. I had the Patriots taking Abdul Carter because I thought the Giants would. I thought the Giants would not score. So the Giants and me are doing the same thing. But the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because I knew the Giants would do what they're doing. Ben's a Raiders fan.
Mm-hmm.
And just like when people like Cam Ward, what an arm. The only thing that would make Cam Ward worse in Ben's eyes would be if Cam Ward were also quarterback for LSU. That's the Jamarcus Russell. So Ben will never approve of LSU ever again. So I think this will be Will Campbell. Ashton Ginty is in play, and Mason Graham is in play.
Will Campbell made some Ohio State jokes about the coach for the Patriots earlier, which I think is some like playful banter because I think it's going to be that.
Mm-hmm. All right, here comes the commissioner. Let's see who the Patriots go with. Again, for my shadow draft, my first pick at number 4 was Ashton Ginty. In real life, let's see how it goes.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
All right. So you're doing that. So Will Campbell, I have Will Campbell as my number 78 guy on my board. I'm sorry, guys. If Will Campbell is a guard, he's not a top 4 pick. What the Patriots believe is he's a tackle.
Yeah,
But
I have him rated as a guard, which has him in my top 20. But that's because I have him rated as a guard, and I think he can be a very effective guard. If the plan is to play him at left tackle,
yeah,
I am less confident that that's going to work.
Yes, indeed. McDaniels is back in the Patriots. I never thought he was a great head coach. I do think he's a great coordinator. But yeah, we're gonna try to protect Drake May.
Who we love.
Yeah, we do love Drake May. If Drake May if I did not have Joe Alt number 1, Drake May would be my quarterback already. I would not be worrying about it. So I am an arm length person.
This is Will Campbell.
Yeah, I'm an arm length person. I think if you're telling me Will Campbell is a great guard, I'll buy that. I'll believe you.
And most of the data does support that arm length matters in terms of tackles. It's like 33 inches. If it's not above 33 inches, it's tough.
But then we go to something else. And let me do it this way. My problem with Will Campbell is everyone talks about him like he's like a walking, talking brick wall that's never made any mistakes. But the reality of the situation, if I can get to the right page, if you actually look at the data, I'm higher on Wyatt Milam, but there's a reason. Will Campbell was only graded at 72 on PFF page. He allowed 2 sacks in only 558 pass sets. He's allowed 11 hurries and 5 hits. So you drafted this guy and you claim we're going to let him protect Drake May, and he was on arguably one of the better lines in football. And I'm sorry, he's the production does not align with the testimony. Oh, he's a great guy. He sets in really well. Look, he allowed 2 sacks, and just to give it some comparison, the guy I like, if I can find him, the number one lineman on my board is Zabel. But a guy I love is Milam, and he only had 356 pass blocking snaps this year at tackle, and he allowed no sacks, no hits, only 6 hurries.
Yeah.
But you have to go all the way to his freshman year to find a sack.
Browns pick is in.
No, that was just a hit. The Browns pick is in,
Yeah.
So they picked at 5. I think they go the Missouri guy. Javon, is it Foster?
Missouri.
Is that, am I right? I'm thinking of the other guy from last year.
Oh, Membu.
Armand Membu, yeah. I think this is Membu. What do you think?
I am not going to give input because I believe from a Browns local source, I believe I saw who it is. So I'm going to wait and just let the pick go here, and then I'll give the input that this person had here, which would definitely be interesting.
And,
but yeah.
What's crazy is, from a point of view, you like this guy enough. This is the guy you took and you said no to Travis Hunter. So
That's some pressure.
no pressure. If they draft Ginty and they both go to the Hall of Fame, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's Membo.
One thing I wanted to point out, when we saw Will Campbell up there, you could see tears in his eyes and stuff like that, right? That's why I love the draft so much, is because we are seeing like the culmination of probably 20 years for some of these guys, 20 years of work and dreams, and now it's coming true. It's just so cool to watch.
This selection. With the fifth pick
So I went with
in the
Membo.
2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what my friend posted. And the wild thing, which if this is true, then I think the Browns are going to be in even worse shape than I expected.
Why? What?
Because they said his source says he was told Mason Graham was handpicked by Myles Garrett as the guy he wanted them to take. And not that it's a bad thing to have players dictating what you do, but that to me means these coaches are in charge. And I wouldn't be surprised if these coaches don't get the opportunity to pick that quarterback next year.
Yeah, these guys are fired.
They're gone because
Well,
maybe not, but like to me, it's like you had to pay him a 30-year-old pass rusher, $40 million a year, just to get him to calm down. And then now he's reportedly the person that determined your pick. And that's pretty wild.
so Mason Graham is a good pick here. Mason Graham, like the Browns could legitimately allow like 3 points a game. They really could. And they just need a quarterback who can score 10 points a game.
Bengals still putting up 30 on them.
Yeah, probably true. So what's interesting is they're going all in on that defense. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Stefanski's face, and all I see is that's not Travis.
That is
I'm sorry, I'm looking at his face.
This is my last year.
He's like, I'm fired. I wonder if Kyle will hire me next year. Like, I'm sorry, but that face, like, I make that face at the end of Black Widow in the movie theater. Ben will get that joke.
Now, what are the Raiders doing? Are they doing Genty?
I think the Raiders sprint to the podium and take Genty. That would make me very happy. Look, I think Genty's easy. I think that's the pick. Membo makes sense. Really, it's those two. Maybe Jade Barron. I like me some Jade Barron. Howie Long is not in this draft. Honestly, I think even Ben would agree. Like, again, the Raiders could ruin my life and take Sanders, and that would make Ben happy and me sad. I'd be sad for me, but happy for the Raiders. But I think Pete Carroll's 100 years old, and he wants to win now.
I don't know if you have noticed on Twitter what Pete Carroll has been doing tonight.
Huh.
And it's the wildest thing I have ever seen by this 80-year-old man.
Was he doing shots?
No. He is all over the place giving out hints to the pick. And it's the funniest thing that I think I've ever seen. And not something I would have ever expected. But so draft clue number 1, he shared a GIF of a clip from the movie Sinners. I don't know.
Sinners, Sinners?
Yes, it is out in theaters right now. Supposedly it's amazing, but I haven't seen it. The next one, Snoop Dogg taking off his glasses.
Look here.
The next one, So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast. It's part Teddy Pendergrass, Cooler Than Freddie Jackson, sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm. I'm like, okay.
The pick's in, and I think the Raiders are going to make me look stupid. I'm still going GT. Please, Raiders, take GT. I mean, if you take Shador, I'll be happy, but very sad.
And the last one is John Cena. And then there was a.
Yeah, I think
that
they're
was
taking
a
Shador.
dart.
Oh, you think they're going to take dart?
It was a guy throwing a dart.
Do you?
Are they taking?
Here we go.
The Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty.
Okay.
Oh, I can breathe. I can breathe.
How many Raiders fans do you think were having a mental breakdown when Pete Carroll tweeted out somebody throwing a dart?
Jackson Dart.
They were like, which, I mean, I personally love Jackson Dart, but.
Ben, your Raiders just drafted a Hall of Fame running back. That's what they did. I love him there. I love him with Pete Carroll. I am so glad I have him on my team. If I get GT and Sanders, I'm having a great night.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what makes GT special? He's his own offensive line. You can't. I have not felt this good about a running back since Adrian Peterson.
There's not a player like they're right now on the screen. They're talking about contact balance.
Ben's like the Giants drafted one, and yeah, I get it. I think a little more Pete Carroll than I do of the Giants front office.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll's offense needs a running back like this. If they didn't go running back here, I was hoping they would take Judkins in round 2.
Yep.
But this is so awesome. And he's not in my division as a Bengals fan. So that makes me happy. And I don't have an issue with the Raiders. So that means I can root for his success. So for me, I love this pick. I think it's such a good pick.
Do I add GT like here? Like
yeah, we can worry about that later. Like we can worry about that later. Like for now, like
no, I got him on my spreadsheet.
Yeah. So the thing is like this is one of those things that I mean, I think he's the type of guy that is going to be a 10-year player in the league. He runs so well and he has stayed so healthy and he's so strong and so built. And the thing that they were talking about on the screen there for a minute was contact balance. That's what makes him so good.
You can't tackle him.
Is his contact balance. And if you can't tackle a guy and he keeps just bouncing off him, the chances of him getting hurt will hopefully go down.
I think I would worry if Pete Carroll was not the coach of your team. But giving Pete Carroll a Hall of Fame running back makes your team competitive.
Yeah. So we've got the Jets on the clock now.
Tyler Warren?
I picked them to go Membu, but I think they're going Tyler Warren. Like I in my mock, my final one, the predictive one that I did, that's what I did. Is I said they're going Membu. They need to protect Justin Fields, who we both like. But oh man, look at all them Browns fans.
Journey is playing "Don't Stop Believing."
The pick is in,
and appropriately, there are no fans there. They're like, we stopped believing 10 years ago.
They're like, we are leaving.
We're done believing. All right, the pick is in. I think it's Membo because I know that organization.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Browns GM Andrew Berry said that they felt like the trade was the right move for the organization because of the value. He believes they added a blue chip guy in Mason Graham.
That is true.
High pick in a sweet spot of the draft, second round, an extra first round next year, in what they feel like will be a stronger draft early. He's not wrong. Luckily for me as a Bengals fan, I know the Browns will screw it up. But yeah, so
I think GT would have I think Mason Graham's awesome. So you still got one of those elite guys. Now, as of this moment, with the exception of Shador, and I see Shador as elite. Ryan does not. So outside of Shador, all the elite guys are gone.
Yeah.
All the eyes shut home run guys, they're gone. At this point in time, what I'm going to tell you is nobody knows nothing.
Yeah, and Jordan Schultz, who is one of the like rising stars in the NFL media world, he's the guy that broke the Bengals news this year with T and Jamar's signings, and the way in which he broke it, it wasn't even just like he broke the news. He was at dinner with the two of them, and was like, "Can I send it now?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can send it." And they literally, he looked at his tweet, and they like planned it. T. Higgins had said, "Hey, I want to tell the fans first because I told the fans I would tell them 1st So literally, T tweeted it, Chase tweeted it, he tweeted it.
Yep.
And like he is a rising star. He said, "Don't worry, the trades are just starting." So we were talking about how nobody would want to move up because the talent isn't there at the level that we think. But that's the thing, though, with this being such a wild card, teams that have a lot of draft capital, they're going to just go get their guy.
Yeah, they're going to go
So
get
they're
whoever
like,
they want.
I don't know where this guy's going to go. I'm going to go get him now.
So when we get to 11, I think the Niners have some action, which again will make me nervous. But you get to that 11 to 15 range, and then you're back at that. There are some guys that are loved, and so you go get the guy you love. I'm sad that Mason Graham didn't make it to San Fran, but it reduces conflict. I would have been torn if Mason Graham had fallen, and if I took Shador and got Mason Graham, I would have been equally happy in that situation.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. Your final answer is Warren?
I think like I said, I picked Mimbu in my original mock here, but I'm pretty sure they're going to Warren, which I don't necessarily like. I don't think Warren is a Brock Bowers level guy. So to go that high is pretty crazy.
I know them Lions descendants. This is O-line all day, every day. It's Membo. Or Membu.
The New York Jets select Armand Membu.
Hey, okay.
Missouri. Tackle. So once again, no time.
So
now, come on, Panthers, take Shamar Stewart.
so no, the Panthers, the pick might be in before I finish typing this. Oh, there he is. Now I had Membo as the number 16 guy on my board. He's the best right tackle. He's perfect for the Jets.
Yeah.
He's perfect for Justin Fields.
And yeah, he's going to be a plug and play guy, and I think he's going to be very good. Now the interesting thing is, Matt and I don't just make our picks, right? We don't just like make our picks and then we don't just make our boards and then that's it. We never worry about that board. We both save our previous boards because we want to go back and look at it. Like, let's say the guy that I keep talking about that I don't like, Shamar Stewart, is drafted and goes out and puts up 8 sacks to 10 sacks as a rookie, which would be considered elite because that is not normal. Most, like the best tackles, the best edges normally only end up with like 5 as a rookie. So if he ends up having a great season and both of us are low on him, we can then now go back and see what did we get wrong, because it very well could be the fact that the system that he's in, that's what a lot of people talk about, is that the system that he's in at Texas A&M doesn't require him to do that. So that's possible. And if that's the case, then now we know, okay, this is a factor that we didn't think about. Sometimes the system they're in doesn't suit their abilities. So that's the interesting thing about this. The draft is a year-round, all the time thing.
I think my family's home. My dog knows. I have the greatest
Oh, you're
dog
not
in the
going to
world.
bark at them?
No, yeah. Well, right. You're
Okay,
gonna yell at
good.
Mom for not being. Yep.
That's right. I was saying, he barked at me just for existing. Better bark at them, too.
No, he knew his. Here are my sons and my beautiful
What's
wife.
up, fellas?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
I'm good. I got these on Saturday.
I like them. I like them.
I got Ash and
20 not to
Gingy.
boot.
That's
Guys,
awesome.
the shock of the night so far.
Mm.
The only thing worse than the Browns not taking a quarterback and taking Hunter was not taking anyone, trading down and getting neither a quarterback or Hunter. They traded their pick and gave the best player in the draft to the Jaguars.
Bang.
Which, as a
That makes me feel
Bengals fan
smart.
who hates the Browns, I loved it.
You
So,
loved it, of course.
loved
Of course you
Yay,
did,
my
of course.
beautiful wife. She loves me. She takes care of me.
Passion-free
Awesome.
medicine.
And here's my dog. My dog again is watching over all the proceedings.
And making sure
It's
I
a
don't
very
get back up
jealous
again.
dog.
Yeah,
Hunter, can you say Saquon? Can you say?
Oh, he
Nice
wanted
to
to
see
trick
you,
us.
man.
Nice to see you, too. How you been?
we will admit we're wrong when we're wrong. Were we wrong? Were we like dead wrong about anyone last year? Last year was our first real deep dive. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think so.
Shador.
Say Shador.
He's sweating right now.
I'm sweating
because
because I
he-
passed on him because I think he's going to fall to me.
He thinks he's going to fall to pick
I
11.
think I'm going to get them
so-
both.
So he's now waiting.
I'm so close.
Oh no.
He's got, like, what, 3 more picks? So,
Well, the pick is in for the Panthers.
yeah.
And I think the Panthers take Giat Campbell.
Yeah, so far I have drafted
Sorry to wait.
Abdul Carter, and he's drafted Ashton Genty.
Really?
Yep.
I was like, yeah.
Is it Giat Campbell? I get him in the. Which one's the edge rusher?
Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker. That's the guy they take. My bad.
I have them taking Shamar Stewart, and again, that's probably because I want him to not be
That would
there.
make us both comfortable.
If it's Shamar Stewart, I'll just be like, I know the Bengals are going to be fine.
So,
Bengals.
well, last year, and you can call me out if you remember. I can't think of anyone you were like dead wrong on. Was there someone?
No, not as of right now. No, there's a lot of people that I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, so my number 1 quarterback last year was Drake May. He's looking great. My number 2 was Bo Nix.
Mhm.
I'm looking pretty smart there. Number 3 was Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
I should have had him number 1. Like I can admit that. But it's not like it. I'm looking for a guy who I was like, no, he's not going to be good, and he was great. Or a guy who I'm like, now I got all that out of my system when I was Jeremy's age, and I was like, Big Ben, he's going to be a bust. He can't win. And
Roethlisberger?
yeah, I was very wrong. I was so very, very wrong. I also said Johnny Manziel was going to change the NFL. So these are things. But if Jalen Walker is a pass rusher, and I get him and John Campbell every time, Jalen Walker is the pick here.
Another dark horse I think that could be for them is Jahdae Barron. I could see them going for a corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dark horse. I thought the comic book studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's football. Just go. Hey, what's up?
You all missed Hunter barking at me
I
just
love
for
you
existing.
being involved. I love you
I
joining the
bet he
conversation.
barked at your existence.
How bad did he bark at your existence?
Until Ryan
Pretty bad,
Ryan sat
yeah.
down.
After I
How
sat
dare you
down,
enter
he's
my
like,
domain.
thank you.
So if you
Yeah,
stood
don't
up
get
right
back.
now.
Don't
when I
Then he
stood
got up for
to get
something.
another piece of, I set up to get a drink, and
Why are you moving?
he was like, how dare you move again?
You want anything right now? So you don't.
No, I'm good, thank you.
You get you some
You might
precautionary
be calm
soda.
now. He's like, you
Some
can
prep-
smile at me,
pre-prep
but don't
soda.
touch me. And
Garrison
yes,
Hurst.
You are my vanity.
I didn't scout him a whole lot. I don't think I made any proclamations about him. I think you're talking about like when he came to the Niners and I wasn't like really in love with it. But I don't remember how I reacted to him. I remember all the things I was wrong
When was
about.
that?
When the Niners got Garrison Hurst, it was like Mariucci's first year or something like that.
Smile, you're on camera. Me.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
You're so cute.
I would be happy if this is Stewart because then I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select
Okay, that's a shock.
Is it?
Yeah. Now look. So Ted McMillan is he reminds me a lot of Terrell Owens. He's gonna make catches and make plays, and you're gonna be glad.
Interesting.
But then he's gonna be screaming down the field. He's gonna be wide open. The ball's gonna land in his hands, and he's gonna drop it.
Oh, well. Not everyone can
Trying
put
to
Super
find
Bowl
where
on
I
their
had
hands
him.
like in the movies.
I had him as my number 43 overall player.
I had him at 22.
Arizona.
He
I
did play at
thought-
Arizona.
He's good. I think he can be very good.
Tall and
I don't
rangy.
think he's
Look,
So-
that's why they drafted him right there.
Yeah. So if his
He got
hands,
mossed.
Because he's tall.
if his hands work out, I think he can be T. Higgins.
Now I will say this: I just saw so I looked at the data for this year. His drop rate for his career is way lower than his drop rate for this season.
Oh.
So yeah, and sometimes you got to go to the right place. Like you get drafted and you just got to go to a place. But I think it's funny that the tallest receiver in the draft is going to help the shortest quarterback in the NFL.
Hey, and that's the good thing is, if what I think his ceiling is, which is T. Higgins, happens and he can do that, that is a quarterback's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be very, very good.
Yep.
And I'm definitely happy for him. Again, I don't think he's bad. I'm just not as high on this wide receiver class as a whole.
I am down on this class. He does remind me of Terrell Owens. And he's got skills and they're multiplying. But he
They're losing control.
but we like musicals around this house.
Are they the one that you want?
We do
They are.
So he has greatness in him, but I fear drops. All right. So
Enjoy your football. I'm going to watch Murder Mysteries upstairs.
love you.
Thank
See if the
you.
dog will cooperate with you.
I hope you get all the picks you want when you want them.
I love you.
I bought some of the castle.
So
one of my friends just took Shamar Stewart at pick 8 as his
shadow draft guy.
as his shadow draft.
Look,
I'm like, idiot.
Shamar Stewart's the kind of guy you draft because you look at his athleticism and you say, I can make him great.
You draft him for 2027. You're not drafting him for 2025.
And look, there's a path, but I have Shamar Stewart as the 70.
No, that's Josiah.
Josiah Stewart. No, I don't. As the 107th player on my board.
Yeah.
I would take him in the late rounds, in the third round.
I had him at 54. Because to me, those crazy high trait guys.
Yeah.
So he reminds me of like he was a Vikings guy. He's an edge rusher for the Vikings.
You're talking about that crazy dude, right?
Crap, that's gonna kill me. But he reminds me of a player who was taken in the third round by the Vikings, ended up being very good eventually.
All right, so the pick is in. I can't hear what Ian is saying. If this is a quarter, oh no, don't do it to me, Saints. Don't do it to me, Saints. No.
Oh, Daniil Hunter. That's who he reminds me of.
Oh yeah.
Shamar Stewart.
Don't do it to me, Saints. Please don't do it to me, Saints.
He's dancing. Uh-oh.
I think if it's a quarterback, I think it's Dart, not Sanders. Why are you showing me Shador Sanders? Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
You will forever hate the Saints.
Oh, I'm so nervous. No, I'll love it. I would have been happier if he went to the Raiders. If he goes to the Saints, he's going to a good team.
And him going to Kellen Moore offense would actually be very good for his career.
Yeah,
And then I could root for him to have success too, because I could care.
I'll
less
root
what
for
the
him
Saints
regardless.
do.
I think the world of him, but
Again,
oh please, no.
if he goes to the Steelers, I will not root for him.
I mean, yes,
I will root
because
for
I
his
want him
failure.
to go somewhere good. I want him to. Oh no, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh, I may have made a terrible mistake. I'll cry in my Hall of Fame jacket from Ashton Jinky. Okay, here we go.
I don't know what you would do at pick 11 now.
I don't know either.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr. Tackle.
Whew, deep breath, Matt.
Oh man.
Deep breath.
Oh.
But that's who I wanted the Bengals to take. Dang it.
Kelvin Banks Jr., number 1 left tackle on my board.
Whew.
He has all the right tools. He's a dream tackle. He might be very, very good, but never great. But you're gonna put him at left tackle. You're gonna call. You're gonna be very happy. He's gonna be sitting there. I'm sorry, I was so terrified. They cut to that Shador cam, and I'm like, no. All right.
Now the Bears is interesting. They added a ton to the O-line. They could go running back. They could go tight end. They could go wide receiver. But they could also go for a guy like Walter Nolan, who they reportedly love as well.
I mean, like, there are linemen I have high in my board.
I actually had them going Malachi Starks in my original draft, which I think you did too.
The Bears?
Yes, you did too, because we both had I put a green check mark when we had the same guy.
Yeah, that makes.
So we both had Malachi Starks going here. I think we're probably going to be wrong.
Right now I think it's Tyler Warren.
I could also see them trading down. That was a rumor that they were interested in doing. I want some more of these trades to happen. You know what'll be interesting? That nobody talks about as a landing spot. Okay, they're not trading down.
Yep.
For Shador. Pick 12. Dallas.
So that would be so wonderful. That would be.
If that happens, Dion will be the coach.
Yeah, no, like if Dallas takes
maybe
Shador,
not this year, but it'll be soon. They'll give Dak one more year, then they'll ship Dak off next year,
mm-hmm.
and then Dad will come coach his son in year 2.
As long as the Niners don't trade out, I don't care. I got Shador. My very scary plan.
Yeah, it worked because there's no chance they're taking Shador.
Yeah, but the Niners might trade down.
Oh, wouldn't that?
That would make me nervous. That would make me nervous.
What if they? How sick would you get if they traded down with the Steelers? You'd be like, oh
no. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. So I think it's Tyler Warren.
Okay.
I think it's Tyler Warren. Edge rushers in play again. Jalen Walker.
I'm talking about the schedule release.
Yep. Jalen Walker is on the table.
Let it be Shamar Stewart.
The Ole Miss tackle, Walter Nolan, is in play. Although right now with Banks gone, for me it's Nolan or Barron. For the Niners, I want the Niners to get Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
Membu, I would have liked. Jeremiah had him taking Zabel, but he said, like, well, I have them taking Zabel, but I think they trade down and get Zabel.
Yeah.
I would not hate Zabel. I really wouldn't.
Zabel might be going to Cincinnati. There's a lot of smoke about that now.
I have Zabel as the number 11 player on my board.
May 14th is when the schedule is going to be revealed for the NFL this year.
Yep. So as long as San Fran doesn't, and I think there are teams who will want to get ahead of Dallas. So I would be, look, the Niner fan in me wants them to trade down and still get Walter Nolan. But the guy who wants Shador at number 11, can you just stay at 11 and take Nolan and we'll figure
Look
it
at
out?
this tweet by Pete Carroll.
There it is. Raiders.
He's got Marshawn Lynch. I was eating my quesadilla because that is his Marshawn Lynch, man.
The pick is in. The pick is in. I'm positive this is Tyler Warren. I say that I have been wrong and will be wrong again. I still see San Fran there at 11. Here it comes. Let's see.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards, 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As
Stop cheating.
Earlier, the NFL continues to honor sweetness.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm
Just looking at
It's
you.
okay.
I might have to kill you.
I'm not a threat.
He's a lethal beast, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the first time he ever got me good when we were playing around. He was like, oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland.
Oh, so they go tight end, but they go with the Michigan tight end, Colston Loveland.
Jim Harbaugh's so angry.
Yeah.
That's who I had him taking at pick 22.
I had him as the number 70 guy on my board. Again, so
that's hilarious. I had him at 73.
So to be clear, my opinion on this draft is after, like earlier on the show, I said from here on out, no one knows.
Oh, so hey, you're on the clock.
From here on out, no one knows. I'm taking Shador Sanders. I'm taking Shador Sanders. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I pulled it off. Oh, I was trying to figure out a way to make that happen. Oh, unless the Niners trade out, and then I don't.
yeah. I guess we should wait a second. That will be some craziness.
Oh, I would cry real tears of emotion.
Tyler Eifert.
If you took Tyler Eifert, number 10, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm not happy right now.
So, what Tyler Eifert could have been was elite, but I don't see him as good as Tyler Eifert.
I'm just not very high on him. You can't put a tight end in a better position right now.
Let's see what Bears fans are saying.
You can't put a kid in a better position as a tight end than well, I guess you could send him to Detroit, but you send him to Detroit's offensive coordinator, who's now the head coach of the Bears. So he's in position to succeed. He's got great hands. So my issue, why do I have Warren and Loveland lower? And people argue with me, but when you're a tight end, like George Kittle said during an interview, I grade my performance on my run blocking.
Okay, we must be way behind because
you just saw everything.
Just saw the Niners pick, and someone posted it 5 minutes ago.
I'm so angry at you because now you know, and now I can't look at you. I can't.
Yeah,
but they picked, right?
It said 5 minutes ago. So you're good. You've got Shador.
No, he is no Brock Bowers. I get
No.
Shador Sanders. I can't look at my friend right now.
That's a lot of red. A lot of red.
Yeah, the Niners fans.
Oh, commercial?
Apparently.
So I now have.
Since this is a commercial, you should back out and then go back into it because maybe it'll refresh it.
Yeah, but then like
Oh yeah, then you could not see it live.
I don't know how to spell Shador. Can you?
Shedeur.
There we go. All right.
Got you a quarterback.
I'm halfway to my brilliant plan working perfectly.
I really do think you're gonna. I think
Then I
you are gonna get
TJ,
TJ,
and then I get
think you're gonna get Uman.
and that will be 4 of my top
10. Well, 4 of your top 9, really, but
yeah,
that would be an unreal haul. Again, we won't know if it was a good haul for a few years, but in terms of on your own board, true.
Yep. Now, Sanders might not start. He might not even play this year, but I am not against sitting quarterbacks.
Yep.
Pat Mahomes sat, Aaron Rodgers sat for years, Jordan Love sat for years. And this doesn't mean I don't draft a quarterback next year. The first video that we posted on the channel, you swing. You swing and you swing and you swing until you know you got him.
And the other scary thing about shadow drafts are that you could have been right, but the reason it ends up being wrong is because of where the person was drafted, right?
Like Shador goes to the Browns, I'm still stupid.
Yeah, like if, but you know, honestly, like Shador going to a team like the Giants, who very well could be out of a quarterback out of a coach next year because Russell Wilson's going to be starting, and they might like reset everything next year. Who knows?
I like Shador in New York. I like Shador in New Orleans. I like Shador in Vegas. I like Shador in Pittsburgh. You don't like Shador in Pittsburgh.
I don't like that I would have to root against him.
Yeah.
I personally do like it because like I said, I think he's limited. And I don't think he will. I don't think he's the guy that can push you over the top. He can be a guy that can get you there as long as the rest of your stuff is solid. So as a Bengals fan, I wouldn't mind it, but I also like the idea of him going to a place that you would not like.
I would like if I could pick anywhere for him to go, it would be Vegas. You go in, you sit behind Geno, and the comp is there. Geno and Shador are very similar. And I'm talking about more recent Geno.
Yeah.
Like I'm just talking stand in the pocket, make the right throws, keep your team on time. Don't be the reason your team lost. And you know, again, you're talking about like a game manager. Well, you know, if you manage to win, I'm happy with that. I don't think there's a Pat Mahomes. I don't think, you know what I mean? And people, again, if you say next year is going to be awesome and you're talking about Manning, you don't know the Manning family. You just don't know them. I don't understand. Like now, Ryan and I are very high on Kate Klubnik next year. He is my number 1 quarterback going into college. And we don't know. Like they're happy. Ryan's got a great poker face. I appreciate it because I want Walter Nolan so bad I can taste it. Johnny Barron would be okay. I would be okay with Gray Zabel. I really would. It would be weird because I don't think Kyle likes taking linemen.
Especially one that you expect to probably play guard. That'd be, that's so high. This guy's enjoying life.
So we'll see where the guy falls in my board. There are a couple of D tackles I like, but the guy I want.
For a special message from United States service members stationed at Yokota Air Base in Japan.
Hoorah!
That was a so give me chills.
Hello from United States Forces Japan. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm
newest service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We're proud to announce that this year we're celebrating our 250th anniversary. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL
Guys,
Service and the USO.
someone find your audio dude and
49ers
come on.
2025 draft day.
Sorry, what they do is what we teach, and not.
Back to you in Green Bay.
There you go. That's how you do it. Maybe they just had the two feeds on. They forgot to cut a mic.
So here comes the commissioner now with that pick.
All right. I'm going to leave this one up a little bit to see what other people say. Nolan.
I hear USA too.
Nolan Barron.
Requisite booze for the Niners here in Packers
Thank
country.
you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's
I got Shador. I got him. I did it.
He
I
got
did
them
it.
both.
I got them both.
Way.
He got his running back and his quarterback.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive
Edge rusher.
Georgia.
Daniel? Yeah, Nick Bosa gets a running mate on the opposite side there. Leonard Floyd is gone.
Yeah.
So I had him at 119 on my board. So you look at this pick. I'm not like overjoyed. This is one of those picks where I'm like, I trust my defensive line coach. I trust, like, he's.
I had him at 166.
Yeah,
So okay, let me talk about some positives, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with him, he is one of the better run defenders. He sets the edge well, right? To me, this is a guy that is likely going to be a contributor for a while.
Yeah, he's going to be a solid
He's going
starter.
to be a solid starter. The problem is you're not looking for solid starters typically at pick 11, right? You're looking for a star. And I don't think that he's necessarily going to be that.
Well, we've already gone on the record, and this is why I'm not as mad as I would have been with other players. The stars are gone.
But I'm going to need Shamar Stewart to go real soon.
Yeah, the stars are gone. You pick this guy. He was clearly there. You know, they wanted an edge rusher. They wanted a running mate for Bosa. I trust that D-line coach. I trust, honestly, we've been less good at picking defensive tackles than we have been at edge rushers.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan said it. I would not. I would be so tickled.
They're going Walter Nolan here.
You think? Oh,
I
you
think
know
so.
already?
No, I didn't look at that actually.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure they're going Walter Nolan.
Yeah, I would.
I'm gonna be angry.
Yeah, they're playing. And look, again, like, I wasn't as high on this kid as they are, but most people aren't as high on Princely as I am. I approve of the decision of we're going to draft defensive line. I approve of that. I think they go wide out. Tyler Warren.
Good.
Tyler Warren.
Could be Matthew Golden too.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
What? Thank you, Lord. I did not want that man on my team.
So Tyler Booker is another one of those guys. The claim is he's super athletic and wonderful.
But no. He's horribly unathletic.
I believe his test scores and his production doesn't do much for me either. Where do I have him? Tyler Booker?
I had him at 63.
I had him at 207. I mean, the guy was a 67 on PFF. I don't understand how you guys, like, if this guy performs well, then no one should ever look at PFF stats again.
Yeah, that's the thing is, this is going to be one of those ones that if I'm wrong about this one, and again,
I got you, buddy.
He could be good.
I mean, they
But-
could all be great. They could.
Yeah, the reason I had him so low is because I don't think he's going to fit well in the Bengals system, which is what I typically frame a lot of my views on. But he is a traffic cone. He in his tape, he gets into a spot and he does not move from that spot.
And it so again, just like the Niners, they drafted the right position.
Yeah.
The Cowboys drafted the right position. The guy, I don't know. Like
I just know the Bengals are taking Shamar Stewart, just so you know. Like
oh, you already know?
No. It's one of those that I just, and that's going to be one of those ones that I really have to hope my evaluation is wrong. Then my one saving grace, the one player, the one team that I think could take Shamar Stewart is the Indianapolis Colts, because the Indianapolis Colts are historically the highest RAS team. They draft the highest RAS scores of any team, and he was crazy. So now the question is, what do the Dolphins do? What did I have the Dolphins doing? I have the Dolphins taking Will Campbell.
The Dolphins are sprinting to the boat. The Dolphins. I think this is Starks.
Okay, I can see that.
I think this is Starks. I would not put Zabel off the table, but I think this is Malachi Starks.
Zabel off the table.
Now I get it too.
Sorry, it's late. It was a long day. Wow. That is
that's just what the Cowboys do. But again, they
and again, if they're right, they're right. Good for them.
And I got to be honest though, like the Cowboys are among. So I haven't done the video yet, but I did a study on. Can you get a rawhide for the doggy? Can you get a rawhide for the doggy?
Yeah.
The Cowboys. I did a system where I measure how they perform, like every team. I looked at every pick for every team for the last 5 years. I need a better. I need help. But the Cowboys are the number 2 best team drafting.
Yeah.
And their first and second round picks tend to be all pro guys. So the fact that the Cowboys took Booker is a tremendous, what's the word? It's not advertisement, endorsement. It's a terrific endorsement of Booker. And I might be this might be the guy. I was really low on him. I don't think well of him. I might be wrong.
And so that's the thing. My view of him was the tape said he is a guy who puts his foot in the ground, stays there. He's an immovable object, which is great if you're doing a run-first offense and you're not really trying to go throw the ball anywhere.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really pull and do that very well. So I did not think he fit what my team would run. And in the modern NFL world where it's pass, I didn't think that he's good for that. And then when his athleticism scores came in and they were below the threshold for success, according to like most metrics for interior offensive linemen, the odds are stacked against him in terms of what history says will likely happen for his career, like for like his performance. But at the same time, if he does turn out well, then that's going to be one of those things that we have to both look at. Why were we so wrong?
What were we wrong about? So I will look at that, because if you're a draft guy, if you're a coach, you got to take the guys you believe in, and when you're right, you can say to yourself, all right, it looks like I know how to evaluate this. And when you're wrong, you gotta be willing to look at it. If I'm wrong in a bad way, where I make a wrong decision, what did I see? Like when I thought Manziel was going to change the NFL, that's the draft where I learned that everyone in the NFL is fast. You know, Cam Ward, I'm worried about him because if their plan is, oh, we'll just hike the ball and you'll run around for 20 minutes and then throw it to someone who's wide open, then they have a terrible plan.
Good luck with that.
So and when you're wrong for a good reason, like I hope Booker does well. And if I'm wrong, I'm like, okay, what happened? You know, hey, you got the same kind of. Oh, I got it. I don't have that picture on my thing, but you got the same
close,
kind
yeah.
of concept where you got the kids and the dog. All right, the pick is in. I think this. I think Zabel is an option. I am very low on Malachi Starks. Do you think they think about Eamon Warwick or Johnny Barron
or Walter Nolan?
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna say it's Malachi Starks.
I'm gonna say it's Tyler Warren.
Yeah, they're just talking, have a good time. They got the Sanders up there. They're just talking and laughing and doing whatever. I
think that Dion has known where his son's going to go for a long time. He was interviewed recently, and was asked about the best quarterback wide receiver duos.
Sanders was Shador, yeah. He
said whoever's throwing Pickens and DK Metcalf. So you never know. That could be it. Like I said, I hope somebody comes up above.
I'm just glad I got him. That was a huge risk, and I won that.
And that's a risk that turned out good for me too, because you are less likely to take the running back that I want, and now I have a chance to get the running back I want.
Yeah.
2025 NFL Draft.
Well, if I
The Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I don't dislike that.
Yeah, like he's up there. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle. I'm not as high on him as I am on Walter Nolan.
I had him at 30 overall.
I had him at 46.
Yeah.
So I can't knock it.
He's good right now. That he's the thing with him right now, is he feels like just a nose tackle, but his athleticism says he can rush the passer too.
Yep.
He just hasn't really done that at the scale that he wanted.
That's what you drafted him for.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to run the football in the AFC East, the Dolphins say no sir. That's where they're at. A little rich for my blood.
Yeah.
But again, this is the draft where like my number.
You're taking your guy.
Yeah, just take the guy you like, because it's just not as clear cut as other drafts.
One of the top draft analyst guys, I forget which one it was, had said tonight expect to see a bunch of reaches.
Yeah.
Because people are just going to get the guy that they like, because everyone's board is going to be so wildly different. It's not like last year where I think you and I got like 8 of the first 10 picks or something like that, right? Because everybody knew it was going to happen other than Michael Penix.
Yeah.
And so it was just, it was easier. This year it's not. And please be Shamar Stewart.
So Indy's on the clock. The pick is in.
I have Mike Green is who I picked.
Do not sleep on Shador Sanders right here.
That would be.
Do not sleep on Shador Sanders right here.
But entertaining.
Again, you gotta swing.
Yeah.
And if you already have an open quarterback competition, you might as well bring in another quarterback to compete in it.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren's still on the board, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to be Tyler Warren. But again, I'm hoping they need an edge. And Shamar Stewart is exactly the type of player that Lou Anarumo likes to take.
Again, we're not high on Shamar Stewart, so we want him to go and be successful somewhere. Yeah. Just don't come to our team and be awful. Like, we would be happier for you to go be a Hall of Famer for not us than to come be a bust.
I'm glad to be wrong
for us.
But just please don't come to my team.
Yeah, don't. I want to be wrong.
Because if you come to my team, I'm almost certainly going to be right.
But this is Tyler Warren.
It's got to be. It has to be.
the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Tight end.
And that's I wonder if the Chargers tried to trade up. I can't imagine.
I was
Harbaugh.
higher on Tyler Warren than you were. I did have him as a top 15 player for me.
Mhm.
I do think he's going to be very good in the NFL. I think he's not as dynamic as some guys, but he absolutely does have everything you need to be a successful tight end in the NFL.
You know, if the Niners trade up, if the Niners trade back in, you know they're taking Fannin, right?
I'll be so deeply depressed. Like I said, I think that's the pick at 45. Is that that's what pick you guys have?
I don't know right now. I always get it confused.
It might be 43. Whatever it is.
But you're taking Fannin with your next pick, right?
My intent is 34.
Yeah. So
17, the hope is Ezraku.
now, see, again, if the Niners do trade up, I don't. Do I take Fannin instead of Sanders and then go for Collins at 75? I might do that. I might do that. But Atlanta.
If they trade up ahead and
I get Fannin,
you get
and
Fannin,
Uman and Collins.
well, hey, if you get Fannin, I might just take Uman out of spite. Like, you know what? I'm gonna have 3 edge rushers.
Just cause. What's that, Dave Chappelle? Cause
Yeah.
screw him.
Yeah. Because I would be so salty.
Oh man. Oh, that was, I think the trades are coming. The trades.
Well, so that's the thing. It is setting up so well for the Bengals to trade back.
Yep.
And which is what I desperately, honestly want, because I'm happy with a lot of players in round 1 for the Bengals. But we're at, we got 2 picks before the Bengals, and if I'll pull up the big board for like the actual big board for like other people, not our big board, but let's see.
Oh, I can go up PFF's big board here.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the best available for the. So for the ESPN, they have Jalen Walker, Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Derek Harmon, James Pierce, Walter Nolan, Maxwell Harrison, Jahad Campbell, Mike Green, Amarian Hampton, Shamar Stewart. They have all these guys. They're guys that I would be happy with for the Bengals right now. I would be happy with Derek Harmon, James Pierce Jr., Walter Nolan, Jahad Campbell, Josh Simmons, Donovan Ezraku, Nick Mawari. I would be happy. Gray Zabel. I would be happy with all of those players if the Bengals took them. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, trade back, man. It's perfect. It's the perfect spot, but somebody has to want to.
Whoever gets Jahdae Barron is getting an absolute steal.
I had him at as my 5th overall.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, like Jahdae Barron. If you drafted Jahdae Barron, you have to know what you plan for him to do. Who was that defensive back? I'm trying to remember.
The reason he's falling is because the league views him as a nickel.
He's still the best nickel. Like
100%. But that's the thing. That's the thing, though. If the team that just drafted Travis Hunter, if they're playing him as wide receiver primarily, then he's going to be a nickel.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a part-time outside cornerback.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. I agree with Daniel Jeremiah. He's going to be better in zone. You know, a thing I would think of doing with Travis Hunter, to be fair, though, what Travis Hunter does is go get ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think about putting him at safety.
I would love that. That'd be the best. That'd be the best way to have longevity. And honestly, the pay difference between safety and corner isn't much right now in the NFL.
Yeah, and you're still getting 2 contracts when you're up for renegotiation.
That is going to be one of the things that I'm most interested to see in 4 years is how much does he get paid? Because if he goes out and is one of the top receivers in the league,
Yep.
that means he has to get at least receiver money.
Yeah, he's gonna. What did Jamar get?
$40 million.
Yeah, he's gonna get 40 something million a year.
And that's the thing. Like, but let's say he ends up not being that great as a wide receiver, and he's just like all right as a wide receiver. But he's still very good as a corner, and he's playing both positions.
Yep.
Do you still pay him like a top receiver then? Because you're paying two positions?
Well,
Because
so
an average wide receiver is getting 20 million now, and the top corners are getting 20 million. So if that's the case, 40 million, here you go.
yeah, if he is a 1,500 snap guy, you have to pay him his premium position and add you got to premium pay him for his starting role, and then you have to sweeten it with
Put a little tax on there.
Yeah, like I don't know, like what the 15th corner salary is.
Yeah.
That's that's my plan already. And if he I still think he's the best corner in the back, but he's the best defensive back in the draft. And what he does best is go get ball. So it's a thing I would think about.
If he plays 1,500 snaps and he is playing well, he has a chance to be the highest paid non-quarterback. Something tells me Atlanta's trying to trade.
He's gonna be paid more in the corner. Like he like, let's say even
no,
if
I meant quarterback.
No,
like
I think he's gonna if he's a good wide receiver and a good defensive back, he's gonna get 20 million on the wide receiver side and 15 million on the defensive back side.
That was a nice suit. I could rock that suit.
But this is why I like fantasy football, and this is why I like the shadow draft, because now I know these kids, and I'm just rooting for the kids. So now, I didn't get Travis Hunter, but I'm going to root for him. The Falcons take Jalen Walker, right?
It makes
How do they
sense.
not?
Him or Jahad Campbell?
Well, they could do Shamar Stewart. They could do you that favor.
Please.
They're going edge rusher.
Please, Lord.
They're going edge rusher. And I'm thinking Jalen Walker is.
This is a dark horse for Donovan Ezraku. But the fact that there's still 30 seconds left tells me they're trying to trade right now.
They're trying to trade. And this is a good spot. We're gonna start seeing the pick is in.
Okay, so
this is an edge rusher.
It has to be an edge rusher. Well, it has to be a person who can get sacks. That's what I'll say, because it could be an outside linebacker with the defense that they run.
Yeah, that makes Jalen Walker even more.
It makes so much sense to be Jalen Walker. That is the clear pick to me. That's who I'm going to go with. I originally had them taking Michael Williams.
I don't remember anymore.
That's
I'm positive it was an edge rusher. I don't know who I had on my board, but
I think you had them taking Mike Green.
Oh, Mike Green's on the table here. Because again, the Falcons not too worried about off the field stuff.
No.
Mike Green is on the table here. Is it bad that I already forgot who the Niners drafted? Michael Williams. There you go. That's okay. Good luck. We'll hope the best. We'll hope the best. Who was their GM back when they were like knocking picks out the park? Again, sure. I was one of the rare guys who thought the Falcons did the right thing in drafting Penix last year. I'm like, why are they all hating on this? You know, you have to take a swing. I know I did not pick Sanders at 4, but I'm going to look all the more smart if I'm right because I did not pick him because I didn't think it was worthy. I was like, I think everyone's going to let him fall. And I'm just going to be okay with that.
Yeah, here it is.
It doesn't make any sense. Gotta move on. Gotta move on. I know. Here's the latest Falcons first rounder.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
That was a pretty easy pick. I still think the guy I drafted last year is going to do well there in Atlanta, and I think Jalen Walker helps.
You made the right call of having your computer up. I should have brought mine.
I almost asked you to like bring my other computer. I might do that for tomorrow. Are you coming over tomorrow? Is that like a thing?
Probably not gonna be able to.
That's okay. So Jalen Walker is he's got the right production. Hey, I love you, my boy. He's got the right production. He's got the right moves. He's gonna pair well. He's going to join up with Braylon Trice, who I loved last year. Now he tore his ACL, so I it's going to take me time to see if I was right about Braylon last year. But Walker makes sense as a position. And again, what I will say is we have been correct about position every pick so far.
I think so.
No, we were off. We thought the Cowboys were going wide receiver. So we were wrong there. But the positions are working out in our favor. If I go up to PFF, Jalon Walker, right?
Yeah. Did I accidentally delete him from my board?
Oh.
I can't find him on my board. Oh, wait, there he is. So I had him at 34 overall. And I had him as an edge, not as a linebacker, but they're going to use him as an edge.
So the thing with Jalen Walker is he played linebacker. So it's so hard to know what's going on.
Cardinals are on
the Cardinals are Zabel landing spot.
No, because I want Walter Nolan for the Bengals, I think. That's probably who they're taking.
Oh, Walter Nolan? I don't know.
I had them taking Jahdae Barron.
Jahdae Barron makes a lot of sense.
It makes a ton of sense.
So Jalen Walker, you're saying he's going to come play, and again as an outside linebacker, pass rusher.
Yeah,
you're talking about a guy who had an 83 pass rush grade. I can't see his pass rush win rate in this view, but if you're looking at him as an edge rusher, he is very, very good at rushing the passer.
Yeah,
and so you're beefing up your team. You're doing bigger and better things.
Yeah. I bet you everyone right now I think is trying to trade back.
They're all trying to trade back, but no one like Pittsburgh is coming.
It feels like Denver's the spot. Denver's the spot for the trade. If anybody wants Shedeur Sanders, they got to go to 20 or he's going to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pittsburgh's quarterback right now is
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph. That's it.
So guard your helmets when they play Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. They got to permanently strap that strap on, so there's no issues there. But
I see. I'm wondering like what Warner's like. I have a lot of respect for Warner as a quarterback evaluator. I thought he should have been a coach at some point in time. I think the only reason he's not a coach
because he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I think he wants to be a mentor, but he's like, no, I'm raising my family. What happens if EJ Warner gets a walk-on opportunity? Like EJ Warner, he's what he left the Owls.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Louisville.
Not sure where he is right now.
I just looked at it. But EJ Warner, if he's a late round guy or did he go to Texas Tech?
Fresno State.
Fresno State, yeah. Now EJ Warner hasn't really produced.
Hold on. News. Yeah, Fresno State.
He hasn't really produced, but I'd be curious. And I wonder how people will react to EJ Warner if he went and his dad became a coach.
Yeah.
I wonder how people will be like, "Oh, like suddenly we're not angry that his dad is coaching him and putting him in a position to succeed." I don't understand.
I think Kurt Warner acts how I kind of view myself as a dad, like, because when I was younger, I always viewed myself as I'm going to coach my son's team.
I was
right?
supposed to ask how'd the team do?
They won. It was a good game. Gunner got a hit and an RBI. He made some really good plays in the field. Threw it perfect to the first baseman. The first baseman was struggling a little bit. Didn't make any catches. But
I'm going to go Zabel here.
I think they're taking Nolan.
Barron would make a lot of sense, but I'm going to stick with Zabel.
With the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan.
Wow.
Jerks.
That's heartbreaking. I don't get Nolan, and now I have to root against him. Is it Ian?
Ian, yep. Knew it was going to happen. Because he was going to be a Bengal. Without question, he was going to be a Bengal if that was there at 17. Now I almost hope the Bengals don't address D-tackle till day 3.
Oh, the kid out of Oregon is still there.
Hard pass.
Really?
He's good, but I don't know. So honestly, there's the 3 most likely selections for the Bengals here.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, but there's other positions I'd prefer. But the 3 most likely selections for the Bengals here would be Shamar Stewart, probably the most likely.
How do you feel about Barron?
They're not taking Barron, I don't think. They could. It wouldn't surprise me. But I feel like Shamar Stewart's most likely. Then it's Derek Harmon out of Oregon. Then it could be also Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle that got blown up by Mike Green.
So that's really so. I don't draft Connerly and say start year 1.
Yeah.
But if he puts on the weight, that is what, like, he's just not grown into his body yet.
Yeah. By the way, as long as the Bengals don't trade out, I'm taking Donovan Ezraku.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be my pick. A little bit about Donovan Ezraku. The reason I love him so much.
Are they on the clock?
The Bengals are, yes.
Okay.
Is because Donovan Ezraku is a literal freaking condor. His arms are freakishly long. I believe it was like 82-inch or something like that arms, which is just absurd. He's like, because he's 6'2" and a half, 250. And he's got crazy bend, crazy speed, ultra productive at Boston College when he didn't really have a ton of help on the line. And I think he's going to be a really, really good long-term edge rusher that's going to get you, maybe not year 1, but eventually I think he's going to be an 8 to 10 sack guy a year. And so to me, that's exactly what you want. And to pair him on the opposite side of Abdul Carter on my shadow team, when I don't really have much from the edge position, I have a couple guys that might be all right. But I love the idea of having the edges locked up, and especially because I have my D tackles pretty much locked up with Evan Anderson and Byron Murphy. I feel like I've got a really strong D line now for my shadow team.
I plan on hitting my D line hard in this draft. Now there are some things that could throw my plan off. They really could. But we'll see what we see.
Pick is in.
Pick is in.
Trade, so
you got Donovan Ezraku.
Yep. That means you get Uman if he's there.
And let's see who the Bengals really
I am
take.
pumped. I to me, I got
Zabel makes a lot of sense.
it does, and I hope
Especially
that's the pick.
with again, I wouldn't say no to Ezraku.
So for me, for my shadow draft, I now have my number 1 and my number 3 edge on my board. From a on the field perspective, I had Mike Green above Donovan Ezraku, but with some of the stuff off the field, not fully substantiated, but still, it's not something that I wanted to. Just my own personal values. I decided I'm going to pass on that. And not risk having that on my team. And I know it's not my real team, but still, values are values.
There's Shador. That looks kind of interesting at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll see. That Pittsburgh pick is coming up. I just can't believe Jacksonville got Hunter. I just can't.
I love that he's not in
he's
Cleveland.
not in Cleveland. He's not where player. But again, like Cleveland, like they know, like DBs, linemen.
Yeah.
They and they got Mason Graham. So if I'm gonna pass on Hunter, Mason Graham makes a kind of sense.
Yeah.
Especially next to that edge rusher.
I think Mason Graham will be very good. I now have to hope that he's not, but which is easy as a Michigan player too.
Here we go, buddy. Best of luck.
All right.
Who did the Cardinals take?
Walter Nolan.
All right, yeah. I'm already in denial.
Wait, who did I pick for my Bengals? I picked the Bengals. I predicted the Bengals would take Jahad Campbell.
Oh, he's there. He's in play.
That was before the injury.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Stewart.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
you knew. You knew.
I am of the opinion that the Bengals Super Bowl window just closed. That's how strongly I feel about this pick. I don't think he's going to be good in the NFL for at least a few years. We have the exact same player on our team in Myles Murphy. I do also think this could mean that Trey Hendrickson gets traded tonight. If a team does not get an edge rusher, they could be calling. I absolutely hate it. People say that he is a good run defender as a baseline, except for statistically, he's one of the worst run defenders in football. He had one of the worst missed tackle rates. He over pursues. He plays wild with no technique. Yeah.
So when they took Myles Murphy, I had him really high. I'm still high on Myles Murphy.
But Myles Murphy is going to get to do nothing now.
Yeah, well, if their plan is to have him and Murphy as the brand new package.
Well, if they don't trade Trey Hendrickson, all this does is probably hamper Murphy's development, which I wanted him to have a shot.
Yep. I can't. What I'll say about Stewart is if that new defensive coordinator, and again, is this the guy from Notre Dame?
Yes.
Look, man, if you need a guy to make a defender reach his potential, that dude out of Notre Dame.
That's the only hope. That's the only hope.
I would not have made this pick. I'm glad your shadow team got Ezraku. I wish I could be more of it. This is a big bet on athletic potential. It's a big bet on athletic potential, and that's true. I want to be optimistic for them. I want to wish them the best. And I hope that they can bring out of him what everyone sees in him. And I want to note, he did get a whole lot of pressures. What is it, like top 3 in pressures in the SEC?
Yeah.
So pressures, that's a pretty good thing. And if you keep Hendrickson, you know,
that's the thing I think that pisses me off the most about it is one of 2 things is going to happen now. They are going to trade Hendrickson, which is not going to get you the return that you want. You're not going to get a first rounder.
Well, they trade him too. Like everyone's getting defensive.
It would be if the Lions or
I guess the Lions.
If the Lions or Commanders don't get an edge.
The Commander. No, the Commanders. Well, what if the Commanders trade their first round pick, and then you get another guy in the first round? That would make. I mean, I don't let go of the league leader in sacks. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to let go of the league leader in sacks, I better get a first rounder for him.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like his athleticism is absurd.
Yes.
I mean, this is one of those where we could find out. We could easily find out that the coaching at Texas A&M was wrong, and they were the reason he did not produce.
Realistic thing.
And I hope that that's the case, because if not, the Bengals just set themselves back a couple years.
Well, so I'm not that far with you, because like the Niners, they took a guy at number 3 overall in 2020, and he did not work out at all. If you get a guy like this, he might not be the guy, but it doesn't mean that there isn't the guy. The pick is in. My dog wants to go. They've got to be a receiver, right? It's Golden?
Ezraku.
Oh, you know?
No, that's what I think.
I think it's Golden.
The Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel.
Makes a lot of sense.
Guard, North Dakota State.
There's your guy. Yeah, this is my favorite player in the draft, and there's some reasons why on the screen. 5 positions.
This makes me sad.
He proved that the
This makes me sad because I like Zabel, and now I have to root against him.
Yep.
Interesting thing to note. Barron is still on the board. Jade is still on the board. Ravel is still on the board. The NFL is very low on these corners.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay's up. This is a spot where they could I think the trades are coming. I really do.
Yeah, like I said, I just I tomorrow, when tomorrow hits, this could be a good. Actually, this makes sense for Jahad Campbell. But tomorrow, after I have some time to wallow in my self-pity, I will be his biggest fan because he's on the team now.
Yeah.
And if he goes out, I think I tweeted it the other day. If there's a certain number, I was like, if he ends up getting a certain number of sacks this
5
year,
sacks. That's all you need. 5 sacks.
That I'll buy his jersey.
Yeah.
But
you're the best doggy
yeah.
ever. Aren't you the best, cutest doggy ever? You could tackle Shamar Stewart, couldn't you? Yeah, I get it. I killed him. I would kill him. I love my dog so much. All right. I thought the Seahawks would have low-key been a spot there, too.
Yeah. So we both got exactly what we wanted for day one
Day one.
of our shadow teams. So from that perspective, we both are happy. So
Yeah.
I think that's good. I'm next on the clock at pick 34. So that won't be until tomorrow. But now we just have to see who's left.
Yep.
Yeah. The sad thing, like if we ended up doing a full blown shadow draft thing where like we had 32 other, we had 30 other people to
Yep.
go along with us, and
we'd have to be so secretive.
yeah, then we could trade picks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be intense, but because we can't trade picks, we're where we're at.
Yeah. These are the best, fluffiest doggy. He is. He's adorable. You protecting me? You know what, Dad? I don't know who that is. He might hurt you. Yep. If you want to really like risk your life, tickle my youngest kid. He'll kill a man. Like this dog. Yeah, remember that Stitch from Little? Like no one can like. Jeremy squeals in delight, and Hunter will murder you. What's Gridiron saying?
Yeah, they're saying like you drafted a guy entirely on upside is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
So Gridiron Gradient's a page that we follow a lot. They talk a lot about metrics and they talk a lot about historical figures, historical like benchmarks and stuff like that. And Shamar Stewart is literally the most athletic, according to Raz scores, the most athletic edge ever. So from that perspective, it's great.
What do you have his pressure rate up?
I don't.
Try to find his pressure rate. Now that like you might see spoilers, but we're not invested in the spoilers.
I'm just gonna pull up PFF for that.
You'd have to go to premium, yeah.
I don't think so. I think
because his pass rush win rate would be there, and that might be. I don't know. I don't think it's that high, but his pressure rate would be valuable. Who are they going to take? Jack Campbell makes a lot of sense.
His pass rush win rate is 12.4,
which is good.
It's above 10, which is the bare minimum that you want.
Shador saying, Dion says the rejected will be respected. Am I reading that right? Because my glasses.
Yeah, that's Deion Sanders Jr.
Oh,
that's his older bro.
But did I read the text correct? Rejected.
Yeah,
will
the
be
rejected
respected.
will be respected. Yeah.
There you go. All right, we'll see. And that, you know what, like it's funny though, because everyone's like, "Oh, if he falls this good, he'll go to a good team." And I'm like, not if he falls in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't think the Browns take him. I think the Browns are off him.
Let's see. So he had 33 QB hurries. Let's see. I don't know where his pressure rate is. I don't know. This feels like Jahad Campbell or Donovan Ezraku here.
So 33 hurries out of how many pass rush snaps?
315.
315?
Yep.
So we had a pressure rate of 10%?
Yeah.
I have no, like Jack Campbell. I might as well go Jack Campbell because I really don't know.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka
Egbuka.
Okay.
First receiver off the board.
Oh, Ted McMillan, but.
Oh, all right, I forgot. I forgot McMillan went.
I actually had him as my wide receiver 1.
I think I caught on too late. I think I saw what people were seeing in him too late. I mean, I had him as my number 19 player on my board, and he was picked 19.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
What's funny is his comparison is kind of Chris Godwin.
Well,
who they have.
Right, but Godwin is a little bit older.
And has some injury history, things like that, yeah.
So I think I'm a little like, it's a little interesting to me.
It's not the pick that I expected.
Now Denver's got to go Amari and Hampton, right? This is like too easy, right?
Yeah, hold on, sorry.
Well, okay. I can't. I don't know how to encourage you.
Yep, there's nothing.
I went to look at like what's a good pressure rate? No, everyone's like he had so many pressures. Maybe he had the most, but his pressure rate was half of what Myles Garrett's pressure rate was. I just don't see it. Hold on. Let me. What was who's your guy? The guy you dropped, Abdul Carter pressure rate. I can't help you.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like it.
I have no idea.
The only hope is that it's because of the system. If it turns out it was because of the system and this guy starts doing it, like he did dominate the Senior Bowl.
Well, the other thing I'll say is his potential is off the chart.
Guarantee you they're trying to trade right now, the Broncos. There are teams on the phone with the Broncos right now trying to get a quarterback.
I gotta think, right?
Yeah.
And which quarterback though? Like, we know who I love, but
sorry, there was a update on probationary employees, so I'm just
yeah,
trying to. It's yeah.
When we cut off,
yeah,
I'm gonna be curious as to what that update was.
It's not necessarily bad. It's not something I'm worried about.
Oh, okay, and then. Whew.
If I was a dirtbag, sure, but.
So the top player on my board right now is honestly Princely. I'm very curious because Will Johnson, Jade Barron, these guys, I just like Will Johnson is amazing if he's healthy. I kind of probably stay away from him because look, if you can't stay healthy in college, and look, Frank Gore is. I would never have had Frank Gore because I would never have taken a chance on Frank Gore. And Frank Gore is my favorite 49er of all time. I'm a 49ers fan. I've been watching since 1989. Jerry Rice is the greatest. Joe Montana is the greatest. Frank Gore was the literal only guy on my team for like 45 years. Like he was it. Everyone knew it. And he still produced. And it would have been to my detriment. Oh yeah. It's okay, Hunter. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Hunter. I should have gone and got you something. Unless you're on the phone, and then I couldn't have done that for you.
No, I was doing my Duolingo before my streak ended.
Yep.
I've been learning Norwegian. So.
It's okay. Hush. Hush. Good boy. Hush. Good boy. Hush. So where's my treat, Dad? I didn't tell him where to get him. That's what I should have done, too. Now I have to go watch you. You okay, Dad?
I'm sorry, buddy.
You just stop moving. I have to smell you now. You didn't get any of my stuff, did you? Your mind. The pick is in. They did not trade.
Okay. Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, it's got to be Hampton. You know what? Seriously though, I think it's running back. I would not be shocked if it's Trayvon.
Yeah.
That kid's burst. But I am very confident it's a running back. It should be Omarion Hampton. I love you, doggy, so much.
Literally every Bengals fan that I know of is like,
Just
hope I'm wrong.
I hope I hope so. All right, he's probably talking about Pittsburgh. Now I think it's Shador in Pittsburgh.
I think they're not.
Like everyone's gone. All the guys it could have been, especially if this is Hampton.
Malachi Starks, Jahdae Barham, both positions in need.
Here we go.
In the meantime, here comes the commissioner with a special guest to announce the Broncos selection.
April is World Wish Month, and the NFL is proud to support the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer.
God bless you.
His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true.
That's
Oh, I should not go to Twitter right now, should I?
Probably not.
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Could be Matthew Golden.
select Jahdae Barham, DB,
Oh.
Texas.
Jahdae Barham.
Okay.
That's value.
That is a good pick. That is a smart pick. That's a who's their coach? Sean Payton. Sean Payton. The reason Sean Payton did so well in New Orleans, he was always taking value.
Yeah, just take the best guy. And I would say he's probably the top guy on most people's board. Giant Campbell, maybe.
Yeah, he's a better receiver than Matthew Golden.
I think people don't understand what he is.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of him as one, you should think of him as a defensive back and just put him, whatever guy you want to vanish, put him on that guy.
I have a friend that I follow that's a big Broncos fan. I'm going to wait to see what Pittsburgh does before I say anything, but be real interested to see how he feels about this because he was dead set on a weapon. Night.
Hey, good night, my boy. Do you think the Chargers take Golden?
I could see it, but at the same time,
Look
Jim
at that.
Harbaugh's known for defense.
Look at that. Yeah, just that defensive, like, and I'm saying this from the perspective of what I see other, like me, Sanders, TJ Sanders, Princely Manuelin, Derek Harmon, Will Johnson scares me. But if you're just looking at the player on the field, he should have been gone a long time ago. Same thing with Ravel. Me personally, I'm curious to see what I'd have to do if Will Johnson fell to me in like the third round.
Gotta get my chat up. Mr. Hale, our coworker, has been. He was like, not gonna lie, your pick could hurt. He didn't like the idea of that athletic freak being in Cincinnati. So
The pick is in. This is
pick is
Shador
in.
Sanders.
Well, he does not look
This is Shador Sanders. I believe it is Shador Sanders.
Oh yeah, we got the cameras up. Yeah, it's got to be him.
I believe it's Shador Sanders. I don't know if I don't know. It's Shador. And it might not be. Derek Harmon makes a lot of sense here.
Honestly, if they believe he's good, so does Will Johnson.
Yeah.
All I know is it's a pretty split fan base. A lot of the fans in Pittsburgh do not want him.
A lot of fans don't want Shador.
Yeah. The overwhelming majority of them, I would say, don't want him.
They really want Mason Rudolph? Like,
I mean, my thing is, like, knowing that fan base, they probably don't like the type of person that Dion is more than it is about Shador.
see, I honestly, I don't hear, like, I don't think I'm right, but I'm gonna stick to my guns. But like, Rappaport is not talking right now, and I would think if Shador is going out the board, Rappaport would be talking. But
what a monster moment this is in the 2025 draft. We're not understating it. The mystery's about to end.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon. Defensive
You called it, Derek Harmon.
And the reaction from the crowd as the Steelers go and take a duck for right there in the middle.
That's the long-term replacement for Cam Hayward.
you know, he's got so much raw talent. Now, here's the difference between him and Stewart. His production was there. What do he have? He had a where did I have him?
I had him at 35.
Oh, I had him at number 14, but 81 PFF grade, really good run stop rate, room for opportunity in pass rush grade.
I don't know where Sanders is going now.
Yeah, I don't either. But I know what he's gonna do. I know what he's gonna be.
Chargers could go defense. Feels like they need a weapon.
It's got to be Golden. The linemen, they feel good on their line, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Golden. Now, look, we're not high on Golden. We are not Golden fans. Honestly, if I'm going to take a wide receiver, like, I'm not. But Trey Harris is my number one wide receiver. And the other guy who makes sense to me is Luther Burden. Like, makes a lot of sense. But you already have Ladd McConkey.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's going to be all right, Shador. It's going to be all right. And how he handles it, like, I wouldn't be shocked if a team let him fall in the second round just to see how he handles being a second round pick.
Yeah. Our coworker who's a Steelers fan said, that's the guy other than Genty that I wanted was Harmon.
Yep.
For Pittsburgh, he goes, now get a running back in the third, suffer with Rodgers, and move up next year to take a QB. The Steelers won't move up for a QB. That's just not what they do.
Even then, like, you had a quarterback looking you square in the face.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't want that. That's what the Browns did a few years ago.
And the idea that you're going to get a guy next year.
It made all the sense in the world for them to get it. Right now, their QB1 is Mason Rudolph. And they were like, their QB2 is Skylar Thompson. And they're like, you know what? We're good. Your defense wasn't an issue. Your defense is the strongest part of your team.
That's why you're winning games. And you're losing games. You're losing games because your quarterback play has not been enough.
That's where it's frustrating as a Bengals fan sometimes because everybody always trash talks our organization and our ownership and stuff with how they draft and stuff like that. But Steelers fans don't realize they're the same type of organization. They've just done it better.
Well, let's look.
Because they literally drafted the same guy, or they did the same thing. They did not necessarily need a D tackle. They drafted a D tackle not for this year, but for the following year. That's what the Bengals basically did.
So the Steelers have a 7% success rate based on my value chart compared to the Bengals. I think I told you they were 11, which is good. Is that So the Steelers are below average according to my scoring system on draft success.
Yep.
They at least for the last 5 years, they haven't been. I mean, they're not 5 like the Cardinals.
It feels like now the Giants are the best landing spot for Shador, and it feels like it could happen. Because originally, I guess technically the Browns could. The Browns have 2 seconds now.
So I don't think the Browns are just on him. I think the Browns first, nothing they do makes sense to me, but the Browns appear to be on the next year. I just think the next year plan is a dumb plan. Because last year people thought Beck was going to come out and he was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's not. They thought Jalen Milroe was going to come in and do this great stuff. You have literally no one.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm wrong about Shador Sanders, but Joe Flacco is your plan A?
Yeah. I forgot to show you this earlier, but this was a guy tweeted. He's like, "Houday Nation, if we get Nolan at 17, it's everybody dancing and exciting." And I responded with, "If we get Shamar Stewart, it's like someone dancing while crying."
Yeah.
And someone just tagged me. They're like, "You gotta send us out again." I was like,
Yep.
My friend who had the 22nd pick in his shadow draft, he took Shamar Stewart with the 8th pick, and this is his second pick. He took Jackson Dart.
This is a good, and again, like I had Jackson Dart as my number 22 guy, so the value's there.
Jackson Dart's going to be an interesting one for me because my current plan for my shadow team right now is to not really worry about it for quarterback. I plan on taking Harold Fannin Jr. at 34. But if pick 49 rolls around and Jackson Dart's still there, even though I want to go running back there, there'll be a running back at 67. So if Jackson Dart's still there at 49, I feel like I got to take him.
Gadabo might be there.
At 67, yeah.
And you have reason to believe he's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going to reach for a running back.
Yeah, you were taking Judkins or Scadaboo.
Yes.
But now are unlikely to do that.
Yes.
At least I'll know too. Like, so if it gets to my pick, if it gets to pick 49 and Jackson Dart's still on the board, which I don't think he will be personally, but if he's still on the board at 49 and you know, at least two of the top running backs that I wanted there.
Oh, they're trying to trade. I think the Saints and Cleveland. Well, I don't think Cleveland wants a quarterback.
Yeah, I think like I said, the reason that they made the trade, in my opinion, the reason they made the trade is they said, "Hey, let's go next year.
Next year's our year.
We're just gonna eat another."
Can you imagine telling your fan base, "Don't worry"?
That's literally what Myles Garrett said. Why he wanted to trade.
Yeah,
but he just really wanted money. But I actually do think Myles Garrett wanted to win and wanted to get out of there. But there is a number that you pretty much have to be like, well, okay, never mind.
They didn't make a pick. If this clock is right, literally Green Bay can make a pick right now. Okay, the pick is in.
They
All
were
right.
they were on the phone. I was gonna say it looked like they made the pick.
Maybe the graphic guy just fell asleep. I mean, it's 10:30. This has been going like super fast, man.
Yeah, relative because the Bengals were projected to be on the clock around like 10:15 or so, and they made the pick at 10. Feels like wide receiver, but I wouldn't be surprised to see defense.
I would take Harris. I would take Harris here. But I think they take Golden. The middle ground would be Burden, the third. The what is he, a Missouri kid?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Golden and stay there. Golden's the pick. I think lots of guys are. I think the Saints and the Giants are gonna fight over Dart. Houston, the who's that kid, that tackle out of what is it? Not Ohio State. The other kid, the kid that got lit up by Mike Green.
Oregon, Josh Connerly.
Josh Connerly is the last left tackle, unless you like the Missouri kid.
Well, Josh Simmons.
So again, if there's an injury question, I probably don't take a kid.
Yeah.
But you're not a crazy person. All right. Is this in fact Matthew Golden?
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back.
Really?
North Carolina.
Well, best player on the board. They took Omarion Hampton, and I mean, who did they have at running back? Hampton's a good guy.
I mean, it does make sense. It's a good pick.
So I would take Hampton. Me personally,
You need to help out an average quarterback.
Herbert has he hasn't even won a playoff game.
Mm-mm.
And for me, if I dropped you in the first round and you don't even win a playoff game, there's still time, and he's shown promise.
Packers are on the clock.
If you're not going to draft where was I going with that? Hold on.
A weapon?
I'm not very high on wide receivers, typically. Don't get me wrong. If I look at a wideout and I think he's great, he might be as high. Where's my first wideout? Trey Harris, I have at number 18. I think I had Harrison at number 10.
Yeah.
I just think wide receivers. I don't understand how running backs aren't paid and wide receivers get $40 million a year. There's a billion of them. There's a billion, and I get it. Jefferson and Chase have thus far proven to be an exception, but I mean, it's not like they got so many more catches than literally I don't know. Let me see. I thought they drafted a guy already. I'm like, what? I don't see the Packers taking a wideout. I really don't. Jihad Campbell is still on the field?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the talk with him is that some of his injuries are going to push him down.
Why can't I go to? I guess my internet's not there. Can
Ugh.
I don't think they're. I don't think they're so like. I can acknowledge that Chase and Jefferson are the best in the league, but number 3 and 4, it's not like they're like a mile behind. It's not like Jefferson had 2,000 yards. He came close one year, but it's not like he had 2,000 yards and the next guy had barely 1,000.
Yep.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Are you still looking for hope?
Yeah, well, like the way the Bengals front office is they compared him to like a prime Sam Hubbard. And I'm like, a prime Sam Hubbard wasn't a very good pass rusher. He was an edge setter. And we drafted him in the 3rd round, guys. You can't compare your first round pick to a prime 3rd round pick.
And there's Vegas coming up, like Shador to Vegas in round 2.
That
Like,
would be so beautiful.
I would be even more happy. Like,
Wouldn't that be sweet if you got 2 guys and they both ended up on the same team?
That
So
would be so great.
Because that means their success is likely tied together. Because if Genty does well, it makes Sanders likely do well.
Yep. And Sanders might sit here.
Maybe, yeah.
You know. Is this a Will Campbell spot? I don't know what the heck they do. The top guy on my board, not named Princely, is TJ Sanders. I don't know. There are a lot of guys like, look, Xavier Watts, Uman Wari. I'll tell you right now, Houston is just staring daggers at these 2 picks.
Yeah, I was just messaging back and forth with a Bengals fan because he was like, "Never seen so many people negative about a pick. You guys are like praying for the downfall of this kid's dream." And I was
We're not.
like,
We're
that's what I said. I was like, his dream still came true, and I was like, we can point out the very real possibility that this was an awful pick.
Mhm.
While also hoping to be very wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, that just seems unhealthy. And I was like, no, it's expect the worst, hope for the best. It's called being a realist.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a
Or at
very
least
normal
pragmatic.
way. Yeah, it's a very normal way for people to actually have a level head in most situations. But I'm like no one's everyone tomorrow will be the biggest fan. Like just anybody that very few fans are going to be hating the players that their team drafted tomorrow. They're going to be upset tonight if they didn't get the guy they like. And tomorrow they're going to be happy.
I have picks where I'm like, well, whatever. Like the Niners took Mikael Williams. I'm like, well, you better be right.
Yeah.
See, here's what happens, and I do it too. Your team, like you fall in love with a guy. However you do it, you fall in love with a guy. The team doesn't take that guy.
Yeah.
You're automatically angry at the guy. But if the Niner, if they're right about the guy they pick, then you're going to like want to delete the YouTube video you made where you said,
unless the guy I wanted was way better.
That's true.
Right?
Like if Ezraku, like you're going to look at Ezraku versus Shamar Stewart.
Yeah.
Now, what does Cleveland do? Does Cleveland could take Ezraku?
They could.
Imagine like Cleveland take Ezraku and Will Johnson.
And as a now owner of Ezraku, I wouldn't be upset if he went to Cleveland because Cleveland normally does have good production from their edge group. So the place I do not want Ezra Rocker to go is Baltimore, which they don't truly need an edge,
Come
but
on, bud. Yeah, definitely.
I'd be
If you
pissed if
want
he
to
goes
make a
to
little
Baltimore.
fort, you want to make your little castle, you can. He likes to make like a little doggy fort. There he
That's
is.
how I sleep too. Little doggy fort.
Yeah, he's a little doggy fort. I love him so much. Here we go.
Packers selection. Let's see what the
What did I say?
hometown.
I'm gonna go.
Who did I originally
I'm
have?
gonna go Eman Worry.
Okay, Green Bay, it's your time.
I had Will Johnson here.
Please give it up for first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, two-time Super
Will
Bowl
Johnson, help me
champion,
out again.
and Packers
Corner from
president and
Michigan.
CEO,
Oh yeah.
Mark Murphy.
That one makes sense.
Hey, Roger. How about this atmosphere? It's unbelievable.
So far, I've
Roger,
gotten
thank you in the NFL.
5 picks right this year.
I said if I get 6, I'll be happy.
Yep.
For the best draft in the history of the NFL. Right here. On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL.
I still don't understand how that works. Like, who fires the coach? And how do you pick who that guy
There's a
is?
board. It's like the Board of Regents or something like that is what it's called.
We also have the best owners in the NFL.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
And you can be an owner, but it's not actual stock. Like, you know, it's not like you're an owner of the Packers, but not actually an owner of the Packers.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002.
oh, Golden.
draft a wide receiver. Listen to this crowd. Oh, baby. Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
All right. Not a guy I like, but
I don't even have him on my board. I'm like, I don't need. Look, I don't think he's not. I don't think he's
I had him at 146.
So here, man, I've never seen a kid drafted higher for 4 good games in my life.
Yep.
And look, he's fast. Like good luck, kid. Good luck. And man, again, like, so you remember like when Flacco had the greatest postseason in quarterback history, this side of Nick Foles?
Yeah.
Matthew Golden's performance in the college football playoff, which on its own proves the value of a college football playoff, by the way.
Right.
He made this money in those games.
Yeah. Now this next pick is definitely gonna be interesting. Minnesota has 4 total picks in this draft.
They're begging. But Cleveland,
they're begging.
Cleveland doesn't care.
Can they want Kansas City? That's who they want. They want Kansas City to be like, hey, Houston's gonna take an offensive lineman. Kansas City, you need an offensive lineman. Come get one.
Kansas City.
That's what they're hoping for.
Kansas. I think Eagles gonna get Geog freaking Campbell.
There's a good chance, which would hurt your shadow team because Jeremiah Trotter ain't gonna be seeing the field if that's the case. They very well could. That would be the most. Or Malachi Starks. They like Bulldogs.
They do. I'm just staring at that ticker because if you're gonna trade in Minnesota, like Minnesota's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Kansas City getting ahead of Houston makes sense. New York, does Vegas want Shador? New York.
Washington could be a dark horse trade back as well because they only have 5 picks, I think.
It's Russell. He's home. Oh, and I bet he brought you something.
This is skid brakes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I can watch this.
Can you imagine if the Packers draft a wide receiver for the first time in like forever? And look, I got to be honest with you though. If the Packers drafted a receiver, you know he's good.
I disagree.
Help me out with that.
What's he? Is he talking?
Yeah, he's.
Oh.
Because
Oh
it's his
yeah,
fan base.
because it's this. Yeah.
I really wish I knew what he said. I'm gonna find that video. Help me out here, because
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I don't see it. Like he had career highs this year, right? And that was under 60 receptions, under 1,000 yards, under 10 touchdowns.
oh, I'm with you on that. But all I'm saying is like,
Just be like to me, I don't think they're very good at drafting wide receiver at all.
I'm like, let's start with Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Other than that,
Like Christian Wilkins,
Christian Watson,
Watson, like now they were better back in the Donald Driver days.
Yeah,
Like
but in recent years, they have not drafted very successful wide receivers. So I just don't see them as a team that's necessarily going to hit on that. If it was a first round wide receiver and it was the Bengals, I'd be like, yeah, because the Bengals are a very, very good drafting team.
Oh, there it is. Come on, doggy. I know the role. I know my job. I know my assignment. Come on, doggy. Come on. Yeah, Dad, you got to break it up. What's up?
Wait, what? We're so far behind.
Stop looking.
Sorry, I just picked up my phone because there was a. But yeah,
Here you go, buddy.
I don't know who Minnesota picked.
But they picked?
But they picked.
Come on, Hunter. You're right here. Come on. My dog is so hilarious. Your dad, you have to feed me. That's how this works. I'm trying to think of ways to encourage you. And really, I just need you to go to sleep and just keep, as you're falling asleep, just be like Shamar Stewart's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart's going to the Hall of Fame. Because you're not going to believe a word I say to you, especially because I was high on Murphy. And so that's one where I was wrong. I have, at the very least, I had not yet been right about Miles Murphy.
And that's the thing. You're probably, unless they trade Trey Hendrickson, you're probably not going to know. And I think the most frustrating thing for me is that I expect most likely they're going to end up giving Shamar Stewart more playing time opposite of Trey Hendrickson this year and have Murphy be the backup to Hendrickson. And he's not going to get to play, and we're going to go into year 4 with him and have no clue who he is.
I got no one. I just don't know.
I had Kenneth Grant, and he's gone.
That is a value pick. Okay, so some will say that's a value pick.
He was my 15th overall player, so I loved him, and I think he's a great pick. It makes a lot of sense because they let Dalton Risner go.
So my board isn't kind to him because he played as a tackle, and again he played well in the playoffs.
Yeah, I viewed him as a guard, and he was a elite guard.
Yeah, and I don't know how to find his data from the previous year as a guard. So I just can't know what I don't know.
Next 4 picks. Look who's
there. Giants came up. Giants came up.
That's the thing that I didn't want to tell you because I had
Giants came up. Let's go.
The Giants just question: are the Giants taking Jackson Dart?
Again, I told you Jackson Dart versus
because Jackson Dart makes a ton of sense to the Rams behind Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
so the Giants may have just saved you from having Jackson Dart to take over for Bradford for Stafford.
Well, I mean, it would be worse if the Rams take Sanders.
You would have to hope for his failure.
I would be like, oh, now I want to be wrong.
Yeah, like, well, guess I'm taking another
I'll
quarterback
get another
next year.
quarterback next year regardless, just so I can cut him.
Yeah.
I hate you now.
Yeah. I want to know what the trade. Okay, so the Texans got 34, 99, and a third rounder in 2026. So to go from 34 to 25 and get a 5th-year option on somebody, they only had to give up pick 34, a late third because they gave them 99, which is a comp pick,
Mm-hmm.
and then a third in 2026. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I said I didn't see the Bengals. I didn't think the Bengals would be able to trade back in the first because I didn't think they'd get the value they wanted. Because the Bengals, love them or hate them, love or hate the way they do it, they don't make trades unless they absolutely fleece you. Like they have to obviously win, or they're not going to make the trade.
Hunter want potty. Hunter want get busy. I'm not going to do the other one. I'm not. Hunter want get busy. Oh, okay. He answered questions. Normally he'll like. Now, I'm not entirely certain he knows which one's which because potty is number 1 and get busy is number 2.
Yeah.
But if I ask both questions, he'll go out and do one of them.
Yeah.
He's like, but there, if I use outside, he thinks like we're gonna go, and then he will be relentless. If he thinks he's going for a walk, I'm whispering he's outside.
Yep.
But if he thinks that's what's about to happen, then he like there have been times, and I do love my dog, but he'll sit there and when he barks, it's like shriek level car. If you squeal your brakes, that's the sound of my dog barking.
Oh
at
yeah.
you. And he will for like just like endlessly. Like I don't even know how he breathes.
Yeah, that's how mine is too. I'll be like, don't speak to me in that tone of voice.
The pick is in. I think it's Shador.
I think it is too. My phone's blowing up, so I'm not gonna touch it.
I think it's Shador. But I would not be shocked if it was Dart.
It has to be a quarterback. There's no other reason to move up.
Yeah.
Other than for a quarterback. Because they have to get above the Browns just in case.
They look a lot happier.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, if the Giants get both Abdul Carter and Shador Sanders,
it's a good draft.
With that coach, so the Giants let me get away with what I wanted to get away with.
The Giants owner, his son, tweeted out a video, a highlight video of Jackson Dart earlier tonight, and then afterwards made his thing private. So again, that's my guess is it's Jackson Dart.
I would not be shocked
because his son was the one that was like criticizing them for getting rid of Saquon.
Yeah. There are a lot of kids running the teams lately.
Yep. I mean, his son's like 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait.
Like an actual kid.
Well, I mean, I know the Jets have like an actual kid, and that was the Madden rating scandal.
Yeah.
You got plenty of stuff.
Now, do they get rid of one of Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston if they do?
No, because again, a lot of people think
Tommy DeVito would be gone.
A lot of people think they need. There he goes. A lot of people think they need time. You know.
They're saying Jackson Dart. Is what the fans are saying.
Wait.
Pick is in. Here we go.
Is he walking up there?
This is normally the slow. I bet he's about to come out.
Wait. Wait.
Yep, here we go. You're guessing Shador?
Yeah, I'm going to go Shador.
I'm guessing Jackson Dart.
I would not be shocked.
The Houston Texans have traded the 25th pick to the New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
There he is. Well,
Takes the drum out for you, though.
yeah. Pretty much quarterback is mostly off the board for me. Now, that doesn't mean I couldn't take one.
Well, you got like a Will Howard or a
Yeah,
Kyle
there's some guys. Like,
McCord.
I have a decent grade on Will Howard. I have a decent grade on Kyle McCord, Curtis Short. There's guys I would take, but it's not going to be early. Does he have a twin? What the heck?
I'm just saying Jackson Dart looks a lot like John Elway, like physically.
Yeah. He also looks a lot like Zach Wilson.
I think Jackson Dart is a good fit. I think Shador Sanders in New Orleans.
I mean, Jackson Dart has a great wide receiver to be chucking it to as well.
Yep.
With Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. No. Again, like this.
And I don't think he's going to start. I think they're going to let Russell Wilson have a year. And then they're going to let Dayball, like this will be the interesting thing. Are they going to let Dayball stay around now?
Well, again, see what this allows you to do is you go out there, you win games, you have the guy. Because you do. You have a guy now. And so when you go to the guy is one thing, but you have...
Whoa, the Rams traded back too.
So Atlanta's on the clock now? They traded back in?
Atlanta, yeah. They gave up their 2026 first.
To get this pick?
46, 242. Because now I'm pretty sure Atlanta has no more picks. Who would they be taking?
Is this? Well, Giant Campbell makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Giant Campbell makes a ton of sense. Can you imagine with Shador? Go get it. My dog does not care that I'm trying to stream.
Yeah, right? That's wild. Giving up a 20 like for a team that's not really like there right now.
They think they are.
They must think they are. Yeah, they must think they're there. Good for Jackson Dart. Again, I think he's going to be very good.
I agree. And I can root for him because he's not in the NFC West.
Yeah.
The pick is in. So is that 3 trades now?
I think so.
Baltimore traded up, you said, yeah?
No, Baltimore, that's where their pick is.
Okay.
I could see them trading down.
Who did? I thought you said the Rams traded out.
The Rams traded out.
With who? Is it the
Falcons? Yeah, they're the one.
Okay.
So, yeah, the Rams now have 2 firsts in 2026, and now they're going to be able to get their long-term replacement for Stafford. So that's not ideal for you as a Niners fan.
I'm really afraid that Shador goes to I only need him to be bad up to 3 games a year, and then he can be great.
It'll be interesting to see if Shador still goes to the Saints now in round 2.
That's and like Vegas, the Saints, like that.
Yeah, I hope it's Vegas. Like I said, I hope it's Vegas.
Here we go. This gotta be Jack Cameron.
It would make sense.
Los Angeles Rams have traded.
Well, I mean, they did just take Jalen Walker, though.
Yeah, but Giant's like a true linebacker.
In the 2025 NFL Draft,
Will
The
Campbell?
Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr.
Wow.
Tennessee.
That worries me for
The pass rush is now
your pick from last year, Braylon Trice.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm expecting to get.
James Pierce Jr. was my 22 overall.
It's funny, everyone was talking about how Trice was like a good guy. Like, we'll see. Oh, what does Baltimore do?
So 15 of my top 22, top 32 are still on the board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You said top 32?
Yeah, like so first round picks.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, wait, didn't Jalen
Walker's
Walker?
gone, yeah. And
Who
that
did I
you
read
stopped at 30. That's 32 for you. So it's still 15.
Huh.
Did you do Jalen Walker?
I might have done that.
No, I just must have missed it. There's a bunch of other Walkers.
Yeah, there's a Walker I wasn't going to draft to begin with.
Pick someone stupid, Baltimore.
I don't know, man.
Let me see. Who is someone that I think that I think Baltimore is going to take Malachi Starks.
I think they're going to take Uman Wari. I think safety's on the table. Come on, doggy. Come snuggle with Dad.
Only a handful more picks tonight.
Yeah.
And then the funnest night, like round 2 and day 2 is where you make your money.
Mm-hmm.
But the funnest night to me is day 3 because it's all these guys. No one has any clue what's going to happen on day 3, right?
Take?
Trey Amos. But day 3, rounds 4 through 7, you have so many random guys that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people didn't expect. There's no telling who's going to go where. And it's such a cool thing to see because it's the culmination of these guys' dreams, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so it's just such a cool thing to see. And I mean, you and I have a coworker whose son could hear his name called on day 3. And that's just such a cool thing to know that these are the guys. The day 3 guys are the guys that day 1 and day 2, you can suck and you're probably still going to have a roster spot for 2 to 3 years.
Uh-huh.
The day 3 guys,
come on,
if you don't show out and work hard immediately, you might get cut year 1.
Yep.
Because you're a lower value in terms of what was spent to get you. So you could lose your roster spot year 1. A lot of day 3 guys don't make their rosters. So I just love that because those guys are going to be like fully working their hardest just to make a team.
He says, I got to check on this clown.
Hey, man.
What are you doing?
What's up?
I want to don't go too fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
You're not evil.
Right.
Unless you stand up, then you're evil.
Yeah.
I talk like that for him the whole time. It is crazy how accurate I am sometimes. He says, I love my dad and I'm going to protect him. And he will also protect me. It's how it works. We're a team. I love my dad. He is my safe place. I'm a brave dog when I'm on Dad's lap. I'm the bravest. I'm a quiet, good doggy unless I want Dad to do something, and then I'm less good. Then I'm annoying. Oh, yeah, doggy. Oh, you're such a good boy. High five. He says, "No, Dad. I'm watching him. I can't play games." Draft to the future. That's what we are. It's promoting the channel. I love you, doggy.
Let's see. I don't think I have any options of. Okay, I have I have 3 more chances that I could get a pick right.
I'm really at a loss. I can't believe Houston traded back.
Yeah.
I can't.
They must not be sold on anybody because I mean, they got decent value for it. I mean, getting a first next year is actually. Wait, no, who was it that got?
The Rams.
The Rams got the first next year. The Rams. Well, that's what's funny is the Rams do things the way that I wish the Bengals would. A few years ago, it was the F them picks. They were just like they didn't care about picks. They were getting rid of all the picks, and then they went and won it. They went and won it all. And that's what you do. It doesn't always work out. But now they're in the, hey, we need picks stage of things. And I guarantee you, next year, they're going to have 2 first-round picks. One of them is the Texans. So it's most likely they're going to be 2 later picks. But I would not be surprised to see the Rams trading up next year to get a quarterback. They're going to give a team that already has a team like the Jags, or something like the Bears if they have a bad year again, or a team that or the Titans who just did bad, right? The Titans. Let's say the Titans only win 4 games next year, but they're still going to be with their quarterback. You don't think the Titans would take 2 first-round picks for a team to move up that was going to try to get a quarterback?
That makes sense.
Yep. So.
Oh man. Oh man. I think this is Emanwari.
I would not be happy with that because I like him a lot.
I'm sorry, buddy, but I think this is.
And having the thought of him next to Kyle Hamilton is just rude.
So we'll see what happens.
With the 27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks.
There you go.
Called it. Yep.
Right position.
Love it because I don't think he's good.
I agree with that. I had him at number 66.
I had him. Well, that's actually funny. I had him at 28, and he went at 27. But 28 at here, I definitely did not want him to go to the Bengals.
All right, man. Go figure. The Ravens got a SEC guy. I get very curious when all the highlight reels are against bad teams.
Yep.
I'm just saying. You want to impress me? Show me. Like the kid out of Ohio State. Like he's very high on my board right now. He's on a mission. He had a long night. You're a Raven guy. You should be fine. Like, even if you're mediocre, you should be fine. Detroit's on the clock.
Yep.
There's Cleveland could take Shador. I just don't think they like him.
I originally actually had the Lions going James Pierce Jr., but since he's here, I think it might be Mike Green.
Yeah, if the character issues work out.
Yeah, if they're not worried about the character issues, it could be Mike Green. I could also see Mike Green falling a lot because of those character issues. The good thing is I don't think I have to worry about the Bengals taking edge anymore because they just simply don't have the roster spots for another edge now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking at what they're gonna do going forward into next year, into tomorrow, I really think round 2, they're probably getting a guard or offensive lineman at least.
What does Detroit do? Will Campbell makes a lot of sense in Detroit.
Jahai Campbell?
No, Will Campbell.
Will Johnson?
Will Johnson, my bad.
Yeah. Too many names that are alike.
Man, you got what you have 220 on your board?
For what?
On your drop board.
Oh, total players?
Yeah, I had 224 guys
Well,
on my board.
this one is my top 300. I looked at a lot more. I didn't watch film on that many. I would say I watched a couple hundred.
Mm-hmm.
The last probably 100 or so guys, it was a lot more analytics based and production based, and because at some point with people with families and full-time jobs, it's hard to watch the amount of film necessary to have a board of like 500.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other edges are available. How mad would you be if it's Uman?
Oh, I'd be upset. I think I'm safe there. I think you and I love him, but
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Donovan Ezraku.
Ezraku in Detroit would be.
I would love, as a person who has him on my team, having him go there would be so cool because he'd be across from Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah,
which is going to free him up a lot because Aiden Hutchinson is going to get.
He's going to get the attention.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I really hope that Ezraku goes to a team that has someone else there.
I would not put Shedeur past Detroit because you got to remember Goff was like an 0-2, like not 0-2, but Goff.
He's only got a couple years left, I think, too.
Now I don't. Is Hendon Hooker still in Detroit?
Yes.
I don't know what they think of him, but
I don't think Shedeur is going tonight at this point.
I agree. I agree with you in general. The pick is in.
I feel like it's edge.
It's Ezraku.
Gonna go Ezraku. I could see Ezraku in Washington as well.
Well, I mean, I see Green going to Washington. They are less scrupulous.
Well, I mean, maybe, but their front office is Niners based now.
Yeah.
Influence there. Hooker's always managed to stay out of camera sight. Brad Holmes running that team and running it so well as the GM.
With the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
That makes a kind of sense.
Okay.
Stay in the Big Ten there.
He's good. I like him.
I mean, you know more about him. You're an Ohio State guy.
Yeah. I had him at 37 overall. He didn't produce as much as you would want. He wasn't always consistent, which was an issue. He's more of a take on double teams guy than maybe pass rush guy.
Yep, I had 74 on my board.
Yeah, I'm at 37. But I think he can be very good.
Yeah, and again, like this year, like last year, if they took a guy at 20 and I said I had him at 70, that would be saying way more.
Yeah, this year, if like I had him at 37, you had him at 74, they took him at 28, basically the same level of player.
He's
like if I look at let me look at someone I have in the 70s.
We had a day 2 grade on him.
Let's see, a D tackle that I have in that. Yeah, so I have CJ West D tackle at 70.
Mm-hmm.
I view them nearly the same.
Yeah, I'm probably higher on West.
I think you're higher on West than
I like Alexander. I like a lot of guys better than him, but the position makes sense. And in this draft, what's your flavor?
Yeah.
What do you like? This is it. We're in the home stretch. Ezraku in Washington. Buffalo, Ezraku in Buffalo. Buffalo's got to take Will Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, geez Louise, you can't mess that up, can you? And again, corner makes like Ravel, Amos. You know, like
it's funny though. Like, we're looking at day 2 tomorrow, and if it weren't for my absolute love for Harold Fannin Jr., I would not be taking Harold Fannin Jr. tomorrow, probably at 34, if I didn't have to worry about you.
You better take him.
I know, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, actually,
other teams,
yeah,
other people that do shadow teams don't understand that nuance that you and I have to deal with.
Yeah.
Because we have to make sure we get the people ahead of the other person.
But we made that decision because we are working together, but we're limiting our options so that more of the guys we like end up on a team.
Yeah.
So we see more from them.
Yeah, because I mean, like if I wasn't worried about you, there's a good chance I'm going to have Jihad Campbell, Mike Green, Nicky Manwari. Some of those guys are going to be all there tomorrow at 34.
I'd kind of be into the Niners getting Jihad Campbell. I don't, again, interest. What's his injury? Like,
he had a torn labrum. So some teams, some people believe he's going to start the season on the PUP.
Yeah.
Missed probably the first 4 games.
Yeah.
But he says he will be, like he says that his doctors say he'll be ready for training camp. So I think if that were true, he would have already been drafted. Tell you one thing, I would not be upset if my Bengals moved up and took him. But they're not typically ones to move up, especially when they only have 6 picks. Who's the person you're most surprised is still on the board?
I want to say Shador. I don't know why I'm surprised. And I'm not shocked. Yeah. I guess the other guy, like honestly, let me look around. I gotta kind of stay there because all the other guys, I know why they're down. I'm gonna learn a lot about how I evaluate quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, he's the only guy who I'm looking at, and you're like, now again, anyone who gets Shador is gonna look like a genius.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers might think they get Shador in round. They got 84, don't they?
Their next pick is third round.
Where does Shador go?
He'll go round 2 to somebody. I don't think he makes it past middle of round 2.
But if Vegas doesn't take him and New Orleans doesn't take him,
yeah,
and I don't think Cleveland takes him, you don't give up on Travis Hunter to take Shador in round 2.
If they were going to take Shador in round 2, they would have taken Travis Hunter in round 1 to keep them together.
Yeah.
Again, Cleveland is clearly playing for 2026.
I'm sorry.
That's gotta suck to be a fan.
It's gonna be so hilarious when Manning doesn't come out and people are looking at that draft like, well, actually, next year. Because that's what makes it funny. Yeah. Every year they're like, well, next year. This has got to be Ezra.
With the 29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Josh Connolly Jr.
Here we go.
Oh,
Oregon.
Okay, makes it kind of sense.
Where are they going to put him? I mean, I guess they doubled up on tackles, but and then what does Houston do?
I had him at 91. Josh Connolly.
I had him at 73.
Hezaraku's going to be there round 2, looks like.
That's so crazy. That's another one that actually does surprise me.
Yep.
I'm looking at Buffalo, Kansas City, Philly. I just can't see.
Now, if he goes to Philly, I'll be like, yes.
I can't see Ezraku falling out of round 1. I just can't.
I think it's going to happen.
But I think Buffalo takes.
Buffalo needs 2 biggest needs are D tackle and corner. Because
I think Buffalo.
I had Trey Amos.
Amos, Will Johnson. This is a corner. Which one do they believe is healthy?
Yeah. And then I feel like Kansas City is going Josh Simmons. He's sitting there right for him, and they need a left tackle.
Well, there's that kid out of Minnesota that's climbing up a lot of boards.
Yeah, Ariante Ursary.
I think that's weird.
They could also go Travion Henderson too. That wouldn't be surprising. I know there are going to be a very large number of very good players on the board starting day 2.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting.
I think the only person who would be more disappointed if the Raiders pass on Shador again would be my brother. Because he hears me out.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a degree of belief. He's more of a defensive guy. Like, he's never going to complain about defenders. I just really can't. I don't think Vegas does it. I'll be disappointed, but I don't think they do it. I think it's New Orleans or bust. And there they are. They're right there. What is it? Cleveland, Houston, Tennessee, Cleveland, Vegas, New England, Chicago, New Orleans. So that's eight guys.
All right, only 2 more picks left because the pick is in
Yeah.
for Buffalo.
Yep. This is why when you look in the major networks, they have like 10 guys. You and I are both so tired of talking.
Yeah, right.
So tired.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be Trey. I picked Trey Amos a while ago. That's who I'm going to stick with. He makes sense. The only problem is they did
Harrison.
I could see Maxwell Harrison.
It's a corner.
It does feel like a corner. I could see them going elsewhere, but it feels like a corner.
And I still don't I don't suffer in my shadow draft because I still get 4 of my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little worried TJ Sanders goes here pretty soon. I need Sanders to make it to.
There are multiple teams that I thought were going to take Walter Nolan that did not take Walter Nolan that are ahead of where I think you would probably take. That's the thing is, are you taking Uman first or are you taking?
I think I'm taking Uman at San Fran's pick.
Okay. So you're trying to take Sanders at the 4th pick of the draft?
Yeah.
Other round 2.
1, 2, 3. The Cleveland second pick.
Then I think you're probably fine. If you were waiting until the San Fran one,
No, Sanders. I don't. But again, who takes him? I mean, Vegas could take him.
I could see him.
Could
going
you
to
imagine
Chicago.
like Vegas taking literally all the guys that draft?
That'd be funny.
Greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy.
There you go, kid. Let's go.
That's a dope suit too. Hey, he's got a turtleneck on.
Hey.
Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder.
He's rock. What just happened?
I think it just skipped back.
Tommy is
Yeah.
a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular
He's rocking my style. He's got a suit with a turtleneck and a chain.
Yeah, man.
What's up?
To make the announcement for his beloved Bills.
Here we go.
Go fix that microphone, Goodell. What's wrong with you?
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025
It says
NFL
Phillies
draft,
next.
The Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Maxwell Hairston. It was a corner.
It was a corner.
It was a corner I am not fond of.
I was equally low. I had him at 119. Again, that's not saying a whole lot this year. I had a day 2 grade on him, and he went late 1. You might as well get that 5th round option. And you know, I think that matters. You got a 1st round grade on a guy. You got a day 2 grade on a guy. That kind of thing goes around. Philly literally traded with KC. Like,
Yeah, why?
maybe KC.
I had Maxwell Harrison at 205.
That means KC was gonna trade. KC was gonna give it to someone,
And Philly was like, no.
and
give
Philly
it to
did
us.
not want that person to go in front of them.
Yeah. So KC probably got an extra pick, and they're probably going to still get Josh Simmons.
I mean, the Eagles are set at line, yeah. They've never cared. They're like, nope, more linemen. They're like me.
Yeah.
More.
Trying to see what they got in the trade. Oh, I didn't see this, but apparently they showed the entire Ravens board. In like I guess you could see the Ravens full draft board in their room.
Whoops.
That's a bad. Maybe it's a Bengals fan. That's the cameraman in there.
Like I said, was that Texas? Was that Tennessee? That's Tennessee. I'm less impressed. Is that Texas?
That's Texas.
Okay, that's actually. Is Philly getting Jack Campbell? That would make a lot of sense. I would not like that. Who's the Alabama? Like there's not an Alabama Georgia guy except for Jack Campbell.
Yeah, this was just re-brought onto my stream. Did you know Shamar Stewart has missed 26.9% of his tackles in college? His missed tackle rate is lower than 98.5% of all defensive end prospects I've ever charted.
So he got a good missed tackle rate?
No. Horrific.
He'll get there real quick, and then they'll run by him.
worse than 98.5% of all people this person has charted. His tackle for loss rate is 13th percentile, which is abysmal. His run stop rate is the bottom 1 percentile.
So Casey got a 5th rounder for the little swap.
Okay.
I really feel like Uman Mori is in play here. Jack Campbell is in play. It would make sense if San Fran was trying to go up and get him.
Yeah.
Is corner in play here? Do the Eagles? No, the Eagles have like they had that wonderful draft last year and got all those defensive backs. Or did they let go of a DB?
I think they lost one, but I thought they brought one in too.
The 3-name guy, right?
Yes. Hey,
Gardner Johnson?
yes, I think so. Did I mark off? I did. Yeah.
Did I?
This is interesting. So I have 3 guys were drafted tonight that were outside of my top 100. Matthew Golden, Michael Williams, and Maxwell Hairston.
Yeah. Ezraku, I had at 102.
Well, he wasn't actually drafted. He was drafted by me.
Yeah. So Shamar Stewart, Jalen Walker. I think I had Jalen Walker there twice. I think I had Jalen Walker, the linebacker, and Jalen Walker, the edge rusher.
Okay.
And then what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I had a guy who was like in the 200s.
Yeah, Maxwell Harrison was in the 200s for me.
5, 6. 6 guys.
Yeah.
And again, we if they succeed, we'll have to look and be like, okay, what did we miss? What did they know that we didn't?
It'll be interesting though, because right now I'm looking at again, I know what I'm taking at 34.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm taking at 49. I have some ideas. Like
you're taking Fenton at 34, yeah?
Yeah. My intent is running back at 49, but like there's some guys that are probably gonna be on the board. Like I know you're gonna take Princely on the Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 guys that are higher than my top running back that I would take at 49. So it's one of those things that I don't necessarily have to take a running back at 49.
I think Jack Campbell makes a lot of sense in terms of Eagles' motivations.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's him and Worry.
I just hope it continues to be people I don't like. More push more people down to the Bengals.
Wouldn't it be ironic of like again, KC might trade again and then you got the same thing that Lamar Jackson had. Come here, doggy. You're so tired and sleepy. You want snuggles with Dad to help you sleep.
The Eagles are the pinnacle of drafting.
They know how to do it. Well, honestly, the best team at drafting over the last 5 years is the Lions.
Yeah.
But the Eagles are up there. What did I have the Eagles scored? 14%. They're in the top 5.
Yeah.
I know Lions, Cowboys, Ravens, and I think the Eagles. And that could continue to increase because they got some pretty solid folks. Oh, doggy. Tell me if you heard this one.
Who's the best guy available from Georgia?
With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad Campbell.
I mean, come on.
Wow.
I had him at number 53 on my board.
I am at number 7.
Uh,
Actually, really high on him. The injury did concern me. I chose to not move him off where I was because I think long term he'll be fine.
well, I mean, he's most people have him as the number 1 linebacker. I didn't. I had Chris Paul or Pooh Paul if you want as my number 1 linebacker. I can't remember what I didn't see in him, but I just I think his pass coverage is what I didn't like. Let me see what his pass coverage was. What are you doing, Dave?
Wonder what KC is gonna do. I think they're taking Josh Simmons.
That would make a lot of sense.
I'm still gonna give myself credit for that if they get it because that's how I had them picking.
I'm not gonna lie. I might have just been crazy with Jihad Campbell. I mean, yeah, I might have just been crazy.
I think he's going to be very good. I'm not necessarily a fan of the fact that he's now on probably the best defense in football. Like, that's just absurd. Like I said, I thought he was a top 10 talent, and now they're a team that can let him chill for the first 4 weeks if they need to.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think
They have freaking Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, and now they just extended Zach Bond. Maybe
Yep.
they think they're not going to be able to keep Nolan Smith Jr. But still, that's just nonsense. What a ridiculous defense.
That's how you win championships right there.
Yep, they're going to be right back in it next year. There's a good chance they're going to be right back in it.
All right. Does someone trade up? Does New Orleans trade up to get the 5th-year option on Shador?
I don't think
do
so.
I want to know what he's saying in the worst? I gotta know.
He was working the phones trying to get a trade. They thought they had a trade, thought it was done. The Chargers ended up picking, trying to get at 23, again at 24. Now get Campbell at 30.
All right.
They were trying to get up to 22.
Yeah.
And they got him at 31.
And I think the Niners were trying. That would make a lot of sense.
I'm telling you, that's why every year the guy that falls, the Eagles are like, oh, okay.
I mean, if you're just gonna give him to me. He took that mic. Let's go.
Oh, sorry. Breaking the whole table. I really do think Kansas City goes Josh Simmons.
That would make a ton of sense. And then, I mean, Houston might like that Ursery kid.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team, I got to be honest, like they drafted so well. And then they're like, yeah, we're like, it's almost like Cleveland. Like we're now I will say this. I was looking at it. Houston has been stacking linemen and they might know about their guys better than we know about their
Pick
guys.
is
There's the
in.
pick. So
we've been going now for 3 hours and 45 minutes. So almost the full 4 hours here and
Mhm.
finish up right before midnight.
Yep.
Definitely a very interesting first round. There's a lot of things that I was not expecting, which is, like I said, exactly what we expected.
Yeah,
Was
like
for it
we
to
were
be
like,
crazy. I expected it to be all over the place.
I
I think the most surprising one for me was Tyler Booker at 12, honestly.
Are they out of that business? All right, here we go.
well that trade out of 2 is
Yeah.
With the 32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons.
Yeah.
Yep, called it. I'm giving myself credit for that one, even though it was at 32 and not 31. That makes so much sense, and that's such a good pick, and I hate that I'm going to have to root for his failure now. Because I'm a Buckeyes fan.
but now he's
But now I hope he is terrible. I'm just kidding. I don't want him to be terrible. I want his career to be good. But so let's look at. So we'll look at what they say is the best available of on ESPN. So going in tomorrow, you got Will Johnson, Mike Green, Nick Ibanwari, Donovan Ezraku, Darius Alexander, Trayvon Henderson, Siobhan Ravel, Shador Sanders, Elijah Arroyo, Trey Amos, Jaden Higgins, Mason Taylor, Jared Wilson, Shamar Turner. There's Trey Harris. There's so many really good guys. TJ
there's
Sanders
a
is
lot
there.
of good stuff.
Lots of good players on the board. It's going to be tough, but
Yeah. I'm still feeling good because I have 1, 2, 3 of my top 10 left. 4, 5, 6 of my top 15.
yep.
I still have my number 1 wideout on the board.
Yeah, I have 3 of my top 10 on the board as well. And I know I'm getting one of them.
So we thank everyone for hanging out with us. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We will not be live tomorrow. We'll do round 1. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to go live tomorrow or not, but I'm not. I reserve the right to decide to, but I'm probably going to play Madden with my brother. But we'll definitely talk about our shadow team. We'll talk about our reactions. And now we can kind of head into our own war rooms and look at what we're doing. Although we like how our board's falling out. I know that we're getting what we want there. And we'll kind of see. And you got to know, like, where does Shador go? That'll be interesting. So we hope you've enjoyed. And we'll see you around. If not tomorrow, God bless. Good night.